morning. Brock Greenhalgh sitting in for the vacationing Mike Farwell today. He will be back in the studio on Monday. That's right, listeners. We are live today. I know it's not New Year's Day. It's the day after New Year's Day, but everybody was still, just recovering from New Year's Eve. So we had to give everyone a bit of a break. And here we are. It's Friday, January the 2nd. We are live today. So that means we'd love to hear from you. Stay tuned. Give us a call. Take it easy. The weather's awful out there right now, so you don't have to go anywhere. Keep your radio on until as long as you need to. But I'll be here until about 1 o'clock, just after 1 o'clock. And would love to hear from you. Would love to hear what your New Year's resolutions are. And just to see what's going on, what's on your mind, and all of the things that you've been doing over the last little while. It's been a while. Last time I was in here was back at the end of the summer. And looking forward to a few hours with you and just enjoying each other's company. So give us a call. You can call us all day long. The other thing is, too, I have Jen behind the board, which is great. She is going to be taking your calls. We'd like to hear from you when it comes to any music you'd like to hear as we head back into a new routine for 2026. If you are looking to, you want to rant, you want to rave, you want to do any of those things, noon today, you'll have your chance to do that. We'll have a chance to talk about anything that's on your mind, and we'll be able to do that throughout the show as well, too. So make sure that you have a chance to call in. If you've never called in, this is your chance. 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. You can also call toll-free 1-800-570-5715. Again, it's Brock sitting in for Mike today. And just taking a look at our schedule. We are scheduled to speak this morning with a associate professor of sociology at the University of Guelph. Her name is Lisa Kowalchuk, and she's going to be talking with us about what happens when we've got really, really high residential numbers. And what do we do with waste? What do we do with recycling? What do we do with green bin things? Those kinds of things. She and her colleagues were looking at a specific area of Toronto called St. Jamestown. It's the largest high-rise community in Canada. It's the most densely populated neighborhood in Canada as well, too. There's 18 high-rise towers that house almost 19,000 people. So you think about how much space that is. It's not a lot of space living on top of each other. What do you do with your garbage? What do you do with your recycling? If you've got one chute to put everything into and put it down the chute, you're going to be running into problems if there isn't an ability to sort through those things. So we're going to talk with Lisa. We'll get her on the phone in the next little while, and we'll go from there. Later on in the show today, we are also going to have a chance to chat at 9:30. We will be talking with JDM Stewart, and he is a Canadian author. He has recently written a book about the Canadian prime ministers and taking a look at the prime ministers, taking the sheen off a little bit too, which is important for us to be able to do that. He's an award-winning educator, writer, commentator. He's a public speaker as well too. He's been teaching for over 30 years and has been inspiring young people for decades. And this is his second book in the last couple of years, and we wanted to talk with him at around 9:30 this morning. 10 o'clock this morning, we are going to have a chance to chat with David Schooley, and we're going to talk all things KW Titans. I managed to run into David back on Tuesday at their home game, and the nice thing was I jokingly said, let's talk about a 3-game winning streak when you call in on Friday. And he said, I'd love to talk about that. And it's not like I'm clairvoyant or anything like that, but they did end up winning. So 3 games in a row, and it's just the start of the season. So we want to have a chance to chat with him about what's coming up. Their next home game is coming up on Sunday, and what that's like, and the energy in the building, and all of those kinds of things. We'll be talking with that with David Schooley about all of those things at 10 o'clock. 10:30 this morning, I'm going to introduce you to a young teenager. His name is Cody. He is up from around Walkerton area. And we're going to talk about a business that he is running up there, and a lovely inspirational story to kick off 2026. 11 o'clock this morning, Emma Miller is going to join us. She is a local author, has written an all-Canadian children's series, and you're going to learn about the Doonies. I know that sounds familiar, and I'm really excited to talk with Emma about that and have a chance to delve into where that idea came from. What does it mean? What does it mean for the future? And where do we go from there? 11:30. Again, it's just serendipity sometimes. When I was at the Titans game on Tuesday, there was Scott Hamilton, Cambridge counselor, sporting one of the Captain Canuck T-shirts. So I went over to him. We've talked on the phone before, never met him in person, so we had a chance to chat with Scott. And I said, hey, if you've got some time on Friday morning, let's have you onto the show. Let's talk about your New Year's resolutions and what's going on with United Way, what's going on with the city of Cambridge as well, too. Lots of excitement happening in both of those avenues. We'll talk with Scott Hamilton at 11:30 this morning. We'll have a little bit of a chance to talk about the flip side, and what I'm going to ask you to do is come up with your New Year's resolutions, right? That's going to be around 11:40 this morning. We'll give you a bit of chance to talk about that. And then, as always, it's Friday. Even though it's a new year, certain things we still hang on to. From noon until 1 today, it's Talkback. So this is your chance. You can rant, you can rave, you can jump up and down, you can talk about all the amazing things that happened in 2025 or your big plans for 2026. And you can also talk about the things that you want to leave behind from 2025, right? This is your chance. The Talkback Hour is going to be rolling from noon until 1. And then we'll wrap things up at 1 o'clock and we'll go from there. So again, don't forget, we're live today, and we're just getting things started. We're going to be chatting again, as I said before. We're going to be chatting with Lisa Kowalchuk in the next little while, just to have a chance to talk with her about everything related to her research when it came to what happens in a community of 18 high-rises with almost 19,000 people in there, and how do you deal with the issues that are going on? How do you fix them? How do you what kinds of things need to be happening at a municipal level? What kind of things need to be happening at a provincial level as well too? All of those things are going to be happening. All right, and we'll try and get her on the line in the next little while. If you're paying attention, you probably notice my voice is off just a little bit. I am coming up on 3 weeks now of not being 100%. It started off back, 3 weeks ago on the Thursday, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I know I'm not the only one. I have a feeling it was the flu. I fought it for about 6 or 7 days, and it was awful, feverish, just felt awful. What hung on after that was a cough. And that cough is it's still continuing today. You can hear a little raspy, right? I haven't picked up cigarette smoking, not to worry. It's just that's where my voice is at right now. But I'm happy to share it with you. And I know that I'm not the only one. And the interesting thing is, when you get the man flu or the man cold, right, you feel like you're the only person who's ever gone through that. We know that's not the case. But it was important for me to rest and take it easy. And, heading into the holidays, I thought, okay, this is it. I don't want to share it with anybody. And unfortunately, I did just that. My better half, she came down with it. My oldest son was sick before I was. My youngest son is not 100%. So it's just the way that it goes, right? And you can't get away from anybody. And it's just, my mom always taught me to share, but not the way that I was hoping to ring in the new year. But onwards and upwards. These are the kinds of things that we need to keep in our minds as we're heading along. So, the calendar is now flipped to 2026. We've got a lot of other things that are happening that the province is telling us we have to do when it comes to recycling and when it comes to rules around putting job applications together. So lots of things for us to talk about. And we're going to I'm going to give you a chance to do that as well, too. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. Toll free, 1-800 570-5715. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh sitting in for Mike Farwell. He has the day off today, but never fear, he will be back in the studio on Monday morning. So, as we said before, we're live today, listeners. Stay tuned. Give us a call. Share your thoughts and dreams for 2026. All of the above. We would love to hear from you. Our first guest this morning is Lisa Kowalchuk. She is an associate professor of sociology at the University of Guelph. Lisa recently wrote an article for The Conversation that focused on the specific issues facing folks in residential high-rises. And Lisa joins us to talk about her findings this morning. Welcome to the show, Lisa, and Happy New Year.
Hi, Brock. Happy New Year to you as well. I'm sorry you caught a cold, and I hope you get over it soon.
Well, I appreciate that. It's man colds just hang in there for so long, and then people get tired of me telling them about them. But
that's the problem. Yeah.
So you and your colleagues focused your attention on St. Jamestown, and that's the largest high-rise community in Canada. It's the most densely populated neighborhood in Canada, and if I'm right, it's 18 towers that house almost 19,000 people. Is that right?
That's correct. Excellent research on your part. That's correct. And it's an important community as well because it's very multi-ethnic with a high proportion of immigrants and newcomers. And it's like it mentions in the article that it's a very vibrant community, but it's also disadvantaged in terms of services and a low amount of green space and things like that.
And I would think, too, that in a community like that, there's a lot of movement in and out of the community. So anytime if you're trying to start a tradition or start up sharing of information, it's not always easy.
Well, you're raising a good point because generally, I guess we could say with rental-based high-rises, in particular multi-residential buildings, there is this problem of tenant transience. So that does make it hard for information to reach people because you have to continually refresh. But we found that really, especially in the private rental building that we looked at, there's just not much information at all being provided. So It's not so much a problem of resident transience as it is just like not much action on the part of the landlords and management to get that information to people.
And your research carried over for about 2 years. Maybe you can walk us through that research. What did you end up finding?
So it was a collaboration between academics led by myself and the St. Jamestown Community Corner, which with a grant from the University of Guelph, a kind of seed grant or startup grant. We chose two buildings, a private rental building and a social housing building. And we did a survey, and we had also teams of residents in each building that we did focus groups with, and we did a number of interviews as well with experts and any managerial person who was willing to speak with us. And it's not always that easy, but many of them kindly gave a few of them kindly gave their time to us. And we found that basically, so there are these inherent problems baked into the design of high rises, of multi-residential buildings, the spatial, physical problems that it's just hard to divert waste because it's inconvenient compared to single-family homes, and that explains why there's quite a gap between multi-residential's waste diversion and single-family homes. But we also found that in addition to that, the other major problem really is that there's a low amount of managerial and landlord commitment to the goal of waste diversion, and we know that other studies have shown that that's a really crucial ingredient for being able to improve waste diversion in high rises, but it's just not there, particularly in the private building. I won't say that is true of the social housing building because Toronto Community Housing provides has a whole program for waste diversion. It prioritizes waste diversion, and it provides all the full range of waste diversion options. But in the private rental building, it's not an exaggeration to say it's actually impossible for residents to divert any of their waste in that building. And that building is the same landlord owns a number of properties in that community. So, there's no way they can because, there's a chute for garbage, but when you take your waste, anything larger than the chute, and you take it down to the outdoor enclosure, what people find there is there's no separate bin for the trash, right? Everything goes in either the blue bin or this green, like large dumpster for bulky items. And so we observed that the blue bins contain every kind of waste, and then we also found that the private waste hauling company that this building has, it combines the compactor waste and the blue bin waste together. So it's not separating any waste at all. And if you multiply that by all the private rental buildings that are in that neighborhood, that adds up to a lot of waste going into landfills.
Right. And as you're saying, like some of these buildings are, they're older, so they don't have necessarily the infrastructure in the building itself to allow for people to separate those things. And when you've got one chute on your floor, you take your garbage down to that one chute, or if it's mixed in with recycling or anything else like that. You touched on this in the article that a lot of times there's this misinformation that someone somewhere along the line will end up separating that waste.
We did find that people seem to believe that. So we did notice in our survey, we surveyed 103 people across these two buildings. And we found people were self-reporting that they separated waste but put it in the chute. So we think we couldn't tap into why they did that, but we think from talking to other people that there is a belief that it will be sorted later on. Certainly one of the staff people who maintains the sort of waste areas in all of this landlord's properties told us that, he was sure that this would get separated later on, but it doesn't. The private waste hauling companies that these buildings contract with, they will just take if the waste is very contaminated, they're just going to mix it all. They're not going to, their contract doesn't entail sorting it later on. So they're not sorting it.
And I would think, too, that, when all of this, and you think about it in the middle of the summer, when you've got unpleasant smells and insects and all of those things, it just, it really detracts from the whole experience of living in that community.
Well, that's an interesting idea. I think we went through the waste enclosure areas in the summer, and I'm not going to say that they smelled horrible. At least they are the private waste hauling company is taking that stuff relatively frequently. So it's not like that there's organics that are staying there forever and ever. But the fact is they're mixing all of it. So there's no organic separation in that building at all. And that is the case for multi-residential buildings that contract with private waste hauling companies. For the most part, they're not collecting organics. And most multi-residential buildings across the province are not collecting organics. And that is a policy flaw, really, that could be fixed, but it's not. It is possible to improve these things. There are other examples of high-rises that did innovative things like close the chute entirely and have everyone bring their waste to a common disposal point where the waste would be separated. But landlords have to be willing to invest in that. If they're all obsessed with cost saving, they're not going to spend on that.
And do municipalities or even the province, do they have a leg to stand on when it comes to saying to private owners, hey, you've got to, no pun intended, but clean up your act?
Right. Well, so in Toronto, what happened is that I hope your eyes don't glaze over when I explain the policy event that happened, but any multi-residential building that's serviced by the city, if it is serviced by the city, it must comply with all the waste diversion programs. It collects organics and it collects recyclables. Well, now we know that's a little bit different because there's a whole different program for recyclables right now, but it has been collecting recyclables and all the hazardous waste and so on. But if that multi-residential building has opted for private waste collection, which it was allowed to do, so private multi-residential buildings were allowed to opt for private waste collection and not have the city collect their waste, precisely so they could avoid the expense and hassle of organics collection. And so those buildings, the city has no leg whatsoever to stand on. Those buildings fall under provincial regulation. It's called ON Regulation 10394. It governs the institutional, commercial, and industrial sector. And it's very weak wording in that regulation. First of all, it doesn't comply organics collection at all. Secondly, for recyclables, it's practically just cosmetic what they're allowed to do. So if they put a blue bin in the waste enclosure area, it's considered done. That's all you need to do,
right.
Even if it means that there's no place to separate your waste in the enclosure. You can't put your garbage anywhere. You can't put your organics anywhere. It all goes into the same thing. So that particular regulation is in serious need of an overhaul, and the Auditor General's office had called for that back in 2021, but it really hasn't moved.
Are you able to stick around with us, Lisa? We need to take a quick break, but I'd love to keep talking for a few more minutes afterwards if that works for you.
Sure. Thanks, Brock. Absolutely. Thanks.
All right. We're going to continue our conversation with Lisa Kowalchuk. She's an associate professor at the University of Guelph. We do need to take a quick break, but we'll be right back. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh in for Mike Farwell this morning. He will be back in the chair on Monday. My apologies to our first guest, Lisa Kowalchuk. I ran out of time, Lisa, in our first segment. I'd hoped to have you back on the air, but I will be sure to keep the story going. And I'll talk with Mike. Maybe we can have you back on the show in the next week or so to continue that discussion. JDM Stewart is an award-winning educator, writer, commentator, and public speaker. As a teacher for 30 years, he inspired young people for decades as they learned about the past. Here are some of the ways he has been described by other notable individuals. JDM Stewart understands that every new generation needs to be taught about the successes and failures of our leaders. Our first prime minister has gone from an indispensable hero who created Canada to a cancelled sinner to now being understood in context as a man of his times. All our prime ministers must be seen through a similar lens. That was from Steve Paikin. He is the author of John Turner and also the host of the Paikin podcast. And Bob Rae, Canada's ambassador to the United Nations, says one of Canada's finest historians, JDM Stewart, stands out as one of the best teachers about Canada's past. And we're lucky enough to have him join us this morning to discuss his new book, The Prime Ministers, Canada's Leaders and the Nation They Shaped. Welcome back to the show, James, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Brock. How are you?
I'm well. I'm wondering about how you can fit through a doorway sometimes. Your head must be so swollen with all of these words of encouragement.
Well, you sound like my sister who keeps reminding me of that if I pass on something in the family WhatsApp chat. And she says, your head must be getting big. I
Oh,
said, no,
my gosh. Oh,
I got my family to keep me in shape.
Yeah, well, that's what they're there for. I appreciate that. So the book came out at the end of September, and on the website, it looks like you've been going on the go since then. Have you been able to catch your breath at all over the holidays?
Yeah, things have been quiet on the holidays, as they usually are for people. And I did have a busy fall. I was in Halifax and Montreal and Ottawa, and I was out to Guelph as well for a visit. And so I've been busy, but it's been going well. So now it's quiet down a little bit, but maybe things will pick up again now that the new year is here.
I'm hoping for it, and I'm glad to hear it as well, too. I did read a write-up about the book, and it said that one of the inspirations for the book was a discussion that you had with some young people who had no idea who Lester B. Pearson was. Maybe you can tell us about that moment.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that I put in the introduction of my book. I was speaking at a Model United Nations event for high school students, and this was a couple of years back. And I had a picture on my slide presentation of Lester B. Pearson, and it was even labeled Lester B. Pearson.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to the kids, who is this in front of me? And nobody knew.
Oh, no.
And I thought that's a bit of a problem because Pearson was not only one of our most important prime ministers, but he was also the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize.
Correct.
And so I just felt, you know what, we need to get something more than just history classrooms talking about prime ministers. So I decided to write this book and bring the stories of Canada's leaders to a new generation of readers.
When it comes to writing about the leaders of the nation's government, you've got a mountain of information to sort through. What's your process for dealing with all of that research?
You know, you have to have a structure.
Mm-hmm.
So I would, have my files separated by prime minister. And, I didn't write the book in order. I didn't start at John A. Macdonald and then finish with Mark Carney, although Mark Carney was my final short chapter of the book. But I just took an approach where what prime minister was inspiring me at the time, and that's the one I would delve into on the research, largely in newspapers, magazines, and then the history books that already exist. And then I had to sort of figure out what my themes were. And often there are themes that run through the currents of all prime ministers. So Canada-U.S. relations and the relations with the American presidents was an obvious theme that would run through each prime minister. The relationships between the prime minister and the province of Quebec, that was often a theme for Canada's leaders. But then in this book, I did something that hasn't been done in previous books about prime ministers, and I looked at prime ministers and how they have handled the Indigenous file and how prime ministers have handled the environmental file. So that's sort of an approach that I took for putting this book together.
When you set out to write a book like this, and you've got, as you said, you've got the themes that are running through it and so on. Do you have in your day like a set time during the day for your writing, for your research? Are you a creature of habit when it comes to that?
Yeah, I think, to complete a book, it takes discipline. So you have to have a system. And I would work in the mid-late morning after I've had my coffee and whatnot. And usually there would be a research day, and on other days there would be a writing day.
Right.
And so that's how I break up the task of research versus writing, because they're very different. Writing takes a lot more mental energy than research, so you have to put a special time aside for the writing days.
And the book's been out a couple of months. Any addendum that you would make to the chapter for Mark Carney at this moment, or how is he? What's his report card looking like when it comes to how he's been doing in his role? Yeah,
that's a good question. I think probably my book ends off with his first visit to the White House in May of 2025. And so I think if I were adding on to that, I would say that there's been, continued troubles in dealing with the United States, but that the Prime Minister has continued to reach out to other international partners. And then I would look at the domestic front, where the Memorandum of Understanding with the province of Alberta has been a widely praised achievement of the Prime Minister. And I would say the report card so far is looking pretty good. But it's still pretty early. It's not been quite a year yet, and there are a lot of challenges that lay ahead of any prime minister, including this one.
And if from a personal standpoint, what does 2026 hold for you? What's coming up on it in your world?
Well, I'm going to continue to promote this book, and I will continue to write here and there for different publications such as the Globe and Mail or the Hub or the Literary Review of Canada. And then I've got to figure out what my next book is going to be about. And I've got to give that some consideration. I've got a couple of ideas, but most authors don't usually reveal them until there's something written down on paper and a contract signed. So I'll always keep writing and trying to promote the importance of Canadian history.
And we appreciate the fact that you're doing that, James. I've got another quick question for you. When the time came for you, and have you completely walked away from the classroom now, or do you still stop in every now and then?
Yeah, every now and then I'm still doing a bit of teaching. I did some in November and December, actually, so I'm still have a hand in there occasionally.
When it came time for you to make that leap and sort of move on to the next thing, was it the idea of I don't want to use the word retiring, but moving to something or moving away from something?
Yeah, it wasn't moving away from teaching. I love students. I love teaching and being in the classroom. This was more of an opportunity for me to bring Canadian history to a wider audience than just my classroom. And I feel that there's a need there for more Canadian history and raising the public profile of Canadian history. So Absolutely. I would say I was walking to something as opposed to walking away from teaching. And that's why I've kept my hand in it, as you suggested.
The book itself, it's available on all the platforms. We can find it pretty much in every in the bookstores.
You'll find it at all bookstores and online.
And any other book signings that are going to be coming up in the next little while for you?
I don't have any local to Kitchener or Toronto just yet, so there's a bit of a lull right now. But you never know what will pop up, and they can always check my social media feeds if there's something that's happening.
All right, and we will we'll continue to promote it on this end. I know that you're a busy guy, but I want to thank you so much for giving us some of your time today.
great to be on the show with you again, Brock.
All right. Enjoy and all the best for 2026.
Yep. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. That was JDM Stewart, award-winning educator, writer, commentator, and public speaker, talking about his latest book that came out in the fall, with a focus on Canada's prime ministers. I liked the idea of what he was saying, that he didn't write it necessarily chronologically. He was looking at all of the prime ministers and focusing on themes of connecting and dealing with Indigenous relations, dealing with relations with Quebec, dealing with relations with the United States. An important book for sure. The Prime Ministers, Canada's leaders, and the nation they shaped. If you get a chance, add it to your. I'm not going to say if you get a chance. When you get a chance, add it to your 2026 list of books that you're going to be reading. That brings up a quick point right before we take a break. 2026 and New Year's resolutions. One of the things that I've been thinking about, and James touched on this, is creating rather than consuming. Instead of just consuming reels and reels of information or silly videos of cats and dogs, maybe taking some time to create rather than just consume. Something to be thinking about anyway. We do need to take a quick break. Stick around. You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio.
I just took an approach where what prime minister was inspiring me at the time, and that's the one I would delve into on the research, largely in newspapers, magazines, and then the history books that already exist. And then I had to sort of figure out what my themes were, and often there are themes that run through the currents of all prime ministers. So Canada-U.S. relations and the relations with the American presidents was an obvious theme that would run through each prime minister. That was
JDM Stewart, author of the book, The Prime Ministers, Canada's Leaders and the Nation They Shaped. The book came out at the end of September, early October, and we had a quick chance to chat with him about the book, about his writing process, what 2026 holds for him as well too, and he talked about the fact that his last chapter was on Mark Carney, and he had wrapped up the book after Mark's visit to down at the United States, down to the White House in May, and I asked him about would there be any addendum to what he would write about Mr. Carney. And he's given him high praise. It's not a role that a lot of people would want to jump into, especially when you're dealing with certain individuals, shall we say? But that's where we're at. Brock Greenhalgh with you this morning, sitting in for Mike Farwell. Mike is enjoying a day off, and I'm hoping he's getting a chance to put his feet up and relax and just ease into 2026. We know he's busy tonight, right? Rangers back on the ice tonight. What about books that you've read? Any that come to mind that you read in 2025? What's on your book list for 2026? Let us know. I don't normally do this, but I've actually got 2 books on the go right now. I'm reading the book Twice by Mitch Albom. And if you've never heard of Mitch Albom, do yourself a favor and check him out. He started his career and continues his career as a sports writer down in Detroit, and has written a number of books. They're I don't know how to describe them, but they are amazing to read. The book that I'm reading right now, obviously a work of fiction, but the question comes up: what would you do if you got the chance to redo anything in your life? The main character has the ability to go back and change things, but then has to live with the changes that come about when he makes those decisions. The other book that I'm reading right now is by a Canadian author, James Fell, and he has two volumes of books, and it's called "On This Day in History, Poop Went Down." I'll put it that way. And a look at some sweary history. Not for the faint of heart, a little different than what I would normally read, but I got started reading some of his little write-ups on Facebook, and got me hooked. So, like I said, don't normally do that, 2 books at the same time, because, a creature of habit and trying to keep my brain sorted out and in one direction, but that's the way that it goes. Give me a call. Let me know what you're reading. What do you got on the go right now? Is there something that you would like to share with other people, other books that are out there? 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. Toll free 1-800-570-5715. Give us a call. Let us know what it is that you're reading or that you read that you're looking forward to. Quick look at the rest of the day today. After the 10 o'clock news, David Schooley will join us to talk all things KW Titans basketball. Managed to see him at the game on Tuesday. I said, let's talk about their 3-game winning streak, and I said that before the third game started. So you could call me clairvoyant because they did win. 10:30 this morning, I'll introduce you to a young man from near Walkerton. He runs Cody's Egg Shack. A great story of perseverance and one to grow on as we head into this new year, something to be thinking about. 11 o'clock this morning, local author Emma Miller will give us a call. If you have heard of the Doonies before, well, if not, today is your day. We're going to learn all about them and why you should be paying attention. Then at 11:30, Cambridge City Councillor Scott Hamilton will be joining us to share his New Year's resolutions. What big items will be on the docket for Cambridge in 2026. Also, what's going to be happening with the United Way in 2026. Again, just serendipity. I happened to see Councillor Hamilton at the KW Titans game on Tuesday. And if you haven't been to a Titans game, do yourself a favor and get down to a game. It is excellent basketball, and the interaction between the crowd and the team, how they've got it all put together. It's an amazing night, and I would stress that it's a family outing. Get your kids out, go check it out, see what's going on. I was lucky enough to have a bit of a courtside view. My friend Sean invited me. He is Sean Farwell is that's a name you should know, and he is the PA announcer for the KW Titans. And I wanted to pick his brain a little bit because since we last chatted, I've done some moonlighting, and I luckily landed a gig as the PA announcer for the Wilfrid Laurier University men's and women's basketball team. So I've had a chance to call basketball games. I've had a chance to call some women's hockey games, and even some. They hosted the Ontario Women's Lacrosse Championships at Laurier. Got a chance to do some of that as well too. A lot of fun. A lot of things that I had never really thought about before, but those things all kind of came together at the end of 2025. And again, that idea of looking back on the year that was and looking ahead, give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. You can also call us toll-free, 1-800-570-5715. If you're sitting at home thinking, this is a replay, it's not. It is now 9:53, Friday, January the 2nd, 2026. Mike is is off for the day. Brock is here with you. Give us a call. What's on your mind, Mike? The phone line is not lighting up, Jen. I'm hoping we're going to change that, especially for the fact that from noon until 1 today, it's Talkback. It could just be Jen and myself talking back and forth to each other, but that's not what it's all about. We want to hear what you've got to say, and we're going to go from there. So lots of things to be thinking about, lots of ways for you to get involved. How did you spend your new year? Were you down at Kitchener City Hall or down in Waterloo? Did you stay at home? Did you call it midnight when it hit midnight in Newfoundland? A lot of people do that as well too, right? All a possibility. Sean, thanks so much for giving us a call, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Brock. I just heard your commentary on the KW Titans, so I wanted to call in because I was going to call in during the 12 o'clock hour, but it sounds like you have some open phone lines.
You got it.
So I wanted to stress to people, if you're looking for sporting things to do, I want to echo what you just said. I mean, we're a Rangers city, of course, and I have no problem with that with my work with the Kitchener Rangers broadcast.
That's right.
But I would encourage you, like Brock just said, get on out to a KW Titans game. We have so much fun. It's fun for the whole family. There's a lot of fan engagement. Brock, it was great having you there, kind of showing you, how the scores table and how the event works as a whole. But I want to piggyback a bit about what you said about your work at Laurier. I mean, if you're a sporting fan and you're looking for a way to spend your entertainment dollars, it's a very affordable and sometimes even free way to go check out some of the OUA stuff around here.
Absolutely.
There's great sports. Yeah, there's great things to see at Laurier, at Waterloo, and even at Guelph. So I would encourage you to get out, support these local amazing athletes. If you go out to watch women's hockey, you've got some of the top programs in the country here in this little triangle. If you go out to watch men's hockey, you're going to see some players that are bigger, stronger than your Kitchener Rangers with more experience because they've played 4 years in the OHL or in junior hockey and are now graduating to U Sports. Someone like Blair Scott, who played with the Kitchener Rangers, is now playing with the Waterloo Warriors.
That's right.
Get on out there, and if you're lucky enough, you'll be able to go to Laurier basketball and see the hottest new PA announcer in the region.
All right, next time I see you, $10 is going your way, Sean.
Have a great day, Brock. Happy New Year.
All right, thanks so much for the call. Sean Farwell, and he is the PA announcer for the KW Titans and for the Panthers, and he's involved with the Rangers. He's nonstop. I watched in awe on Tuesday night, just peeking over his shoulder, because he manages to keep track of the score. He keeps track of the fouls that are happening. He's got his eye all over the place. I'm just a babe in the woods. I'm trying to learn as I go. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell, toll free, 1-800-570-5715. We are going to take a quick break. We're coming to the top of the hour. We'd like to get an update from the news center. Stay with us. You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh sitting in for the vacationing Mike Farwell today. He will be back in the studio Monday morning, so never fear. Tuesday night, I got the chance to watch the KW Titans game from the courtside vantage point, thanks to PA announcer Sean Farwell. In my wanderings that evening, I also had the opportunity to chat with David Schooley, and he joins us this morning. David, welcome to the show, and Happy New Year.
Morning, Brock. How are you?
Very well, and yourself?
Oh, ready to play basketball.
I noticed it's like you're waiting to throw that jersey on yourself and ask the coach if you can get on the court.
Yeah, that's going to happen. You know what? I think they had jerseys for both of us there on Tuesday night, but we didn't need it. No, absolutely. I sat back and watched that game and said to you before the game tipped off, let's talk about their 3-game unbeaten streak. And here we are, 3-game unbeaten streak. That is quite a team that's been put together, and it is an exciting round of basketball every time they get together. Right. You know what? It's the first time in franchise history. We're going into season 9, into the Titan season 9 and our season 4 since we've taken over the team, and we're very, very excited about the team that Cliff has put on the court this year.
Have you had a chance to chat with the players and the coaches? How are they feeling right now after 3 games?
Well, I'm going to head out to practice as soon as you and I are finished chatting. And yes, you know what, we talk almost on a daily basis, and you know, we have the pleasure of interacting with these young men. You know, these athletes from all over the world, and it's really quite a privilege.
You bring up that point, as you said, from all around the world. It's great to see how they gel, and I noticed too, even with the game on Tuesday night, I'm sure a lot of familiar faces on both squads, and some of these guys, they played high school ball together or college basketball, and it's a great chance for them to see each other and reconnect as well.
Yeah, well, most of our players are from the U.S., from top schools, right? They played in all over the world, and in the Ukraine and the Iraq and Dominican and Mexico and Switzerland, Finland. They play all over the world, and we get the privilege of having them here for our season. And then they'll go on someplace else. But basketball is a very small world in itself. So it's quite often they will have played on a team someplace else in the world.
You've also got a local athlete on the roster, Zubair Syed from Cambridge is on the squad. How important is it to you to have a local connection like that?
Oh, we would always love to have a local connection, and we did open tryouts here. We had identified Zubair early on and signed him. I think I signed Zubair in the summertime. So we would love to have more local content, but the talent pool is deep around the world, and we're trying to put a team on to win a championship.
And there's more than a dozen chances still for people to get down to the Odd during the regular season and watch this basketball. And Sunday is the next home game, 3:00. It's Twins Day, so are you trying to line up Brad Pitt to join you that day, or what's your plan?
Yeah. Brad Pitt, yes, that's for sure. So yes, we try to have. There's a theme every day, and we're always our all-star partners, the United Way. We're always trying to showcase an organization besides having some fun at the basketball game. We are 3:00. We're taking on the Montreal Tundra. But there's just a couple of things I just want to touch base on real quick. The game is never canceled.
Right.
Right. We had a little bit of weather on Tuesday, and a number of people came up and asked. So I think you need to think about a basketball game. It's kind of like a wedding. Unless the groom doesn't show up or the bride doesn't show up, we're playing basketball, especially in KW, right? So, yeah, the game is never canceled. So the other thing, my great friend, Sean, who I just heard chatting with you, I think we need to get a new mindset in KW, and we've been talking about this for a while. We're a sports town,
right?
We're lucky enough to have we have an outstanding OHL team. The Rangers are an outstanding team, but we have two professional teams in the city, right? We have professional basketball and professional baseball.
That's right.
And there's not very many cities in Ontario that can boast that. And guess what? It's 20 minutes from your house.
Exactly. The other thing that I noticed too, like on Tuesday, I noticed how connected the team is to the fans. You don't always get that in a lot of other places, but you've got autograph signing. You've got, invitations to the younger folks to come onto the court and win some swag or do some dancing and all of those things. That doesn't happen by chance, does it?
No, you know what? The players are out, win or lose. They're out for autographs after every game. This is a family sport. We've changed. We have family-friendly times this year. Mm-hmm. I don't know whether you noticed.
Yeah.
But, all of our Saturday games start at 4:00. So that way you can bring the young kids out. That was one of the comments we had from families was. Sunday was the only time they could bring the younger kids out to enjoy the game. So now you can be home on a Saturday night by 7:00 if you happen to be a hockey fan and want to watch Hockey Night in Canada or something like that. And Sundays we've shifted until 3:00. So if you have family things going on in the morning, you still have time to come out, watch the game, and still be home in plenty of time for the to get the kids ready for school on Monday.
Extremely important, right? And you're meeting people where they're at, and you're meeting them where they need to make those. And otherwise, they're making those decisions. Saying, yeah, it's too late. We can't make that happen. But this is it's important for them to be able to feel a part of that and make it a part of a routine. It becomes part of their Saturday or their Sunday routine as well.
Right. Exactly. So we're so excited about this season, and seeing the team that Cliff's put on the court. The franchise has never seen a three-game winning streak to start. I don't think any of the teams in the league have ever started out with that kind of a record. So, you know what? We'll move on Sunday at 3:00 and see. Hopefully we see lots of fans out. Are you going to make it out to another game?
I will be out on. I won't be there Sunday. We had to extend our family holiday, and we're getting together with my wife's family on Sunday. But there will be other nights that I get out there. The other thing that I noticed interesting is you're heading up. The team heads up to Montreal after that, and it's 3 games in a row against the Tundra up there. I'm guessing that cuts down on travel and expense and so on.
Well, let's talk about.
Yeah, you go right ahead.
And the basketball, Brock, shall we?
Yeah,
like 100%. I mean, that's we're trying to make things as efficient as possible,
right.
and travel to Montreal is very expensive, and the team itself, we operate. I'm lucky enough just to go to the games, right? And I don't have a huge role outside of that. We have 60 plus people involved in the organization, so I get to go out and sell real estate and then hang out with you when you come out for the game. But currently, here's what I need right now. Currently, Brock, I'm looking for a team dentist. I'm looking for a team physiotherapist and those kind of things. We've our sponsors from last season have gone by the wayside, and we would, we're struggling at any given time to try to, financially to keep things rolling. That's why trips like Montreal, when we can play 3 in a row, not ideal. Right. It wouldn't have been our first choice, but the powers that be that figured out the schedule did an actual great job this year. I think we have 5 Saturdays and 6 Sundays in our schedule. Family Day.
Oh yeah,
big day for us, right? We get to play on Family Day at 3:00. So it's going to be an exciting season.
And I, you talked about that idea of, people talking to you about, would the game get canceled? No, as Canadians, it's -20 and snowing out there. That's just a regular day. You can make your way to the odd and shake the snow off and come and sit down and enjoy the game. So team dentist, team physiotherapist, any other New Year's needs or New Year's resolutions for the KW Titans?
No, you know what? A lot of people don't think about this. There's a business side to this, and that's really, that's where I come in and putting together. We've got some great sponsors. Leuna 837 Union is back as a big sponsor. Oxford Learning is back. Harris Law, great sponsors, right? Yeah. Those are the things that we can make you famous with all of our fans. That's what we're doing. And then, with Waterloo Region Sports and Entertainment, our parent company,
yes.
We have the Panthers as well. So we will be looking at Owen Nick Hefner, hopefully will be coming back as a sponsor again this year. But we can, we're as that type of an organization, we're going to be offering our sponsors 12 months of the year, right?
Exactly.
That's how we're envisioning, sports in the city moving forward. Is let me make you famous with all of our clients.
There you go. And no rest for you. Right? There's 24 hours in your day, but I know that you somehow sneak in about 25 or 26.
Yeah, you know what? I have to tell you, we're very efficient at what we do, and I have multiple partners in the real estate business. But like I said, we have such a huge team within the Titans organization. I'm a pretty active broker, and I'm very proud to have been. I guess it's over 20 years now with Remax. The basketball. Kate takes care of a lot of those things, but we have We have a huge staff of people that are in the background making all the magic happen. And I just get to go to the games, right?
There you go. You get to tag along.
A little noise.
Listen, I know how busy you are, David, and I want to thank you for giving us some of your time today. We'll keep the conversation going on this end, but all the best for 2026.
Yeah, you know what? I appreciate it. Let's bring the ring home this year, and everybody, please come out and see me on Monday. I'd love to shake your hand on Sunday at 3:00. And let's see what we can do against the Montreal Tundra.
All right. Looking forward to it. Thanks so much.
Take care.
All right,
Thanks,
you too.
Rob. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. David Schooley of the KW Titans on the new season, plans for the future, all the things that are going to be happening. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell, toll free 1-800-570-5715. Stay with us. You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio.
Most of our players are from the U.S., from top schools, right? They played in all over the world, in the Ukraine and the Iraq and Dominican and Mexico and Switzerland, Finland. They play all over the world, and we get the privilege of having them here for our season, and then they'll go on someplace else. But, basketball is a very small world in itself, so it's, quite often they will have played on a team someplace else in the world.
That was David Schooley with the KW Titans talking basketball, and lots of chances for you to still to get out there and watch some games this year. 13 home games still in the regular season. Next one is coming up on Sunday, so make sure that you get out and support, as David was saying, local professional teams. It's he mentioned the idea of the KW Panthers. We know that there's been a big change in the league structure for this coming year as well too for the Panthers, and they're connected obviously with the Titans. So things to be thinking about. If you haven't been out to a game, it's your chance. The team wrapped up 2025, beginning the new season with a 3-game winning streak, and they're looking forward to continuing that. A lot of new faces on the squad, and really interesting and exciting basketball. When you go to the Odd to watch what's going on, and this is the things that I sort of picked up on, just being able to be really close courtside. Music that plays while the game's going on, and it just kind of keeps the flow happening. And it's interesting to see the interaction between, as I said, between the players and the fans, the players and the players on the other side as well too, with the other team. And it is a quick moving sport. You got to be paying attention the whole time. There's no mesh there to stop anything from getting you. Like, if you're at a Rangers game where you're not going to get hit with a puck, got to be paying attention to the ball the whole time, right? Keep your eye on the ball, as they say, as you're watching what's going on with the Titans. And they've got a game on Sunday, and then off to Montreal. They're playing Montreal on Sunday here in KW, but then off to Montreal for 3 games. And as David was saying, it wasn't the greatest idea necessarily, but it cuts down on travel expenses. If you're going to go up to Montreal and play 3 games over 3 or 4 days, excuse me, and get a really good look at another squad, that's important as well too. Get a feel for that squad, especially if who knows, you might see them later on in the season, and get to learn as much as you can about them. And what I was saying was that the thing that I noticed the most was the connection between the team and the fans. As I said, there was the autograph signing, kids winning it, getting a chance to go out and take 3-point shots or foul shots, and the Titan mascot is out walking around. Everyone's having a good time. Let's put it that way. There's new swag to be had. They've changed their logo and their colors. So important for you to be able to support your squad. I picked up another hoodie when I was there. I'm wearing that hoodie today. It's the older style, but hey, I'll always look for a deal. All right, looking for a deal when I'm out there. We mentioned the fact that local athlete Zubair Syed from Cambridge, he's joined the squad. Great to see local talent get out there too. And I wonder about when it comes to the other players on the team, if they're like going to Zubair to say, okay, hey, Where should we go out for dinner? What's the thing? What should we be doing here in KW? What are we? What are all the things that we should be doing when we're in this community? Because they become a part of the community, and we know that they have their the ability for inviting school groups to come out and sing the national anthem. All of these ways that you're going to connect with your local community, how important that is to do that. So if you haven't been out to a game, I would highly suggest you take the chance to do that. Tonight, Kitchener Rangers, 7:00 game. Make sure that you're out at the odd for that as well, too. They're going to take on the Barrie Colts. And then they get a bit of a break. Their next home game is next Friday, the 9th. So you've got lots of chances to see local sports. And as Sean had mentioned as well, too, get out and see some OUA. Go and watch what goes on at Guelph. Go and watch what goes on at Laurier or UW. Head on down to Conestoga College and look at some sport action going on down there as well, too. A good friend of mine it works full-time as a teacher in Napanee, Ontario, but then took on the head coaching position for the men's volleyball team at St. Lawrence College. And again, just amazing opportunities that are out there. And he's just swamped with how busy he is, but amazing opportunities nonetheless to be a part of what's going on out there. And as Sean had said, some cases it's free, right? Get out and be a part of what's happening. It's easy, we know, especially this time of the year. You get home and it's dark by 5:00 to get home and say, I'll put my jammies on and just chill out and not really do much else. But we want to encourage you to get out and be a part of the things that are happening. We're Canadian. We're resilient. We do those things. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. Toll free, 1-800-570-5715. We are coming to the bottom of the hour, so we're going to take a break. We'll get an update from the news center. But stay with us. You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh sitting in for Mike Farwell, who has the day off today, so he can recover from the new year and whatever that looked like for him, as well as prepare for tonight with the Kitchener Rangers. He will be back in the building on Monday, and I will be back in my other job on Monday as well, too. I came across this story the past few days, and it has stuck with me. You know how those things, it's not necessarily an earworm, but it's one of those things where you just keep coming back to and thinking about it. So I'll give you a little bit of background. The story is about a young man named Cody. He's a teenager from just outside Walkerton. He runs Cody's Egg Shack along with his parents. So he's learning independence. He's learning responsibility by taking on the jobs that need to be done when running a business like this. Cody has cerebral palsy. He was born 10 weeks early at 2 pounds and 9 ounces. He spent his first 9 weeks of life in London in the NICU. Came home, tube fed, was never supposed to walk or talk or eat without a tube or likely even hold his own head up. Mom and dad have been fortunate enough that he has surpassed all odds and expectations from the very beginning and has done all of the things he wasn't supposed to do. He had to have leg reconstruction surgery 3 years ago, and he stayed at Holland Bloorview in Toronto for 3 months for rehab, and he has much straighter and functional legs because of that surgery. And he's responsible for the daily chores for his chickens. Parents also require him to help whenever they're doing pickled eggs. That's something that he can help with. Mom and dad get him to help with the inventory and restocking whenever he's able to get him to stamp a lot of the bags with his logo. He comes up with most of the ideas for the social media as well, too. So the family starts the Egg Shack to see if Cody would be able to take over the farm or if they should be planning a different avenue for him for investments and future plans. And they could never have dreamt that the community support for him would have been as much as it has been. So I first saw this, as I said, a few days ago, and what caught my eye was there's a few things. He has an infectious smile. There's also a little glimmer, a little glint in that eye, because I know he's probably up to something sometimes. And I think he's trying to get his parents on the hook for an above ground pool. Now, he's also saving his money up for that as well. We'll come back to that in a second. So what do I need you to do as listeners? Well, there's a couple of things that you're going to be able to do. You can stop by and shop along Concession 14 in Walkerton at Cody's Egg Shack. I will be making a trip up there in the next few weeks to pick up a few things. You can also follow Cody on Facebook. You can follow him on Instagram. He's aiming to get about 10,000 followers. And the one video has, basically, he's saying, if I get 10,000 followers, my parents are going to buy me a pool. And then in the background, you hear Dad say something like, we're going to help you buy the pool. So, he knows what's going down. He currently sits at about 8,600 followers or so. I've invited my friends to follow him and would love it if you would do the same thing. And then I'll keep you posted as we watch those numbers jump up and we see that it gets to 10,000. And then, the pressure's on Mom and Dad to get that pool. Nothing like social pressure, social media pressure to make these things happen. So again, I'm inviting you to follow him. Would love it if you do it. Keeping you posted, as I said, as we watch the numbers jump up. So what had started 3 years ago with just a fridge outside with farm fresh eggs on a self-serve basis, since then, Cody's Egg Shack has expanded 3 times, and now they've got some merchandise. You can pick up T-shirts, you can pick up toques and hats and sweaters. I'm all about the T-shirts, always, and I'm all about the sweaters, so I know that I'm going to be doing that when I get up there as well, too. As well as farm fresh eggs. Yes, thank you. 7 flavors of pickled eggs. And I have a few family members who will want all 7 flavors. I'm sure of that. 5 kinds of beef jerky. I'm going to be spending a lot of money at this shack. They're not the typical kind of spot because it's not really considered retail. It's all self-serve. But folks absolutely love it. They've been traveling from near and far to check this out. They're really grateful for what's going on. Right now, it says he's saving up for that above-ground pool that will be installed in the spring. And there is, there's a method to his madness, if we put it that way. He loves swimming, and it also is really, really helpful for his exercises. Remember, I mentioned that idea about 3 years ago having the surgery on his legs, and that swimming is, you can't beat that. So they're located at 494 Concession 14 in Walkerton. So here's the other shout out that I'm going to put out there right now. Anyone listening, if you happen to have a connection in any way whatsoever to above ground pools, give me a shout. All right. Check them out online. Follow him, and I want you to join me in watching this young man just blossom. His smile is infectious, and his positive outlook for life sets an example for all of us. So there's your good news story for the day. Cody, go get him, get that pool, get those 10,000 followers. I'll do my part, and we'll keep drumming up the support because these are the stories that we need to be talking about. We need to make sure that we start off with the good news in the new year. So if we can at least get that rolling, that would be amazing. All right, and again, thanks to Mike Farwell for giving me the chance to jump in here today and be able to tell this story, and extremely important. So check it out. Cody's Egg Shack. You search that up on Facebook. I'm going to click on Facebook right now. Cody's Egg Shack. I'm gonna. What do we got here? If I refresh it, still at 8.6 thousand followers, but that's going to change, isn't it? All right. Make sure that you do your part, and if you want to, as I said, 494 Concession 14 in Walkerton. They're always open. Remember, it's not a retail store that closes. You can pick up anytime. Do your thing. I want to email them as well if you wanted to reach out. Cody's eggshack@gmail.com. And just his intro on Facebook just says, I'm a teenage boy with cerebral palsy trying out the farming industry. And whatever we can do to support this young man, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Give us a call. I want to hear about your thoughts and your plans. 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell, toll free 1-800-570-5715. And let's know what's going on. It's 2026. 2025's in the rearview mirror. And I like the saying, the reason why the windshield is so much larger than the rear view mirror, right? The windshield is where we're headed to. The rear view mirror is where we were. And keeping in mind all of the things that are coming up in the new year. What are your New Year's resolutions? Where are all of the listeners? And I don't even have Mike's list. It looks like Mike took his list away. I think I'm on the list somewhere. I think he gave me a number at some point. But I'd like to hear from you. Like to hear what you're thinking. What's going on in your world, and if you don't have anything else to do, get up to Walkerton today. Get up to Walkerton this weekend, and make some purchases. All right, we can all help out in one way or another. Let us know what's going on. My voice is hanging in there. I keep drinking my coffee and my water to keep us going. And I'm just doing the best that I can. Looking at the rest of the day today, at 11 o'clock, we are going to have a chat with Emma Miller. She was a published poet way back, I shouldn't say way back, in her teenage years, just like 10 years ago, before transitioning to the role of executive assistant in the technology field. And then along comes the fall of 2022, when this tiny idea in her mind sprouts, and out comes the Doonies. We're going to be talking with her about that, her connection to Canadian comedian Kevin McDonald, her connection with Eric Traplin. That's all going to be happening at 11 o'clock. 11:30, I'll be joined by Cambridge City Councillor Scott Hamilton. We are going to be talking about what's going on in the city of Cambridge this year, New Year's resolutions, what's going to be going on in the United Way, how you can get yourself your own really cool Captain Canuck T-shirt. Lots of things that are happening. Doug, I see you on the line there. Thanks for giving us a call. What's on your mind today, Doug?
Well, I happen to have a certain term on my mind that Mike likes to use called jackwagon.
Oh, no. All right, let's hear it.
Well, he knows I drive on the road, and today's a special day, and stuff has to be taken down in Niagara Falls. I am absolutely surprised at the amount of stupid people on the road who don't have their full light system on.
Oh, my gosh. Come on, man.
Absolutely ridiculous. In fact, I'm following one right now this morning on his daylights. It's, even on the highway, it's not wide because you got to see and be seen. That's all there is to it.
Absolutely. And like you said, in your line of work, Doug, this is where you're at.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, I also wanted to shout out to it was Corey's Egg Shack, right?
Yes.
I want to give a shout out to his parents because I cannot believe. Well, yes, I can believe because certain people get chosen by God for a certain path that they have to follow. They obviously took this path willingly, and the reason I'm giving them a shout out is because I have a grandson who was also born very premature. He has a host of problems, and he was considered borderline for cerebral palsy. And the minute my son's mother-in-law found out, he told her daughter, "Get rid of him. You don't want that." Isn't that nice?
Yeah, that's.
And my son, the first words out of his mouth was that young fellow needs me more now than ever.
That's right. That's right.
So there you go. And that's why I give a shout out because sometimes you don't have a choice.
That's right.
Well, you do, but the right choice is to follow through. So God bless them. So anyway, have a great day and a great weekend, sir, and Happy New Year. Happy
New Year, Doug. Thanks so much for the call. I appreciate that. Yeah, Doug brings up a great point, and I forgot to mention Mom and Dad. My apologies. It was Mom Shannon that I've been emailing back and forth with, and they appear in a number of the videos as well too. Oh my gosh, you've got to get on and watch these videos, and just and how they kind of all play off each other. And look at life together, and giving Cody a chance. They've set up a little. It's like his own apartment again to build some independence and some responsibility. Check out Cody's Egg Shack. All right, give us a call 519-570-2545 star 570 on your cell. Toll free 1-800-570-5715. We'll take a quick break, but stay with us. You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh sitting in for the vacationing Mike Farwell, recovering Mike Farwell, planning Mike Farwell, all of those roles today. And Larry, number 54 in Farwell's Force for Good, I think, something like that. What's on your mind today, Larry?
Not much. I live in Mildmay, which is like 10 minutes away from Cody's shack. I got to check that out. I didn't even hear about it.
There you go. Yeah, and thanks for that shout out. Yeah, I'm going to take a drive up there in the next week or so, and just to see what it's all about. And these are those, like I said, these are those feel good stories. Go get yourself some beef jerky. Go get some eggs. You're going to be well taken care of, Larry.
All right, a couple books to suggest.
Yes. I'm
not a big book reader, but I read Adam Savage's Every Tool is a Hammer.
Oh, okay.
A little book. It's not a big one, but It's just him talking.
All right.
It's really good. And then Chris Hatfield.
Yes.
His very first book, which is basically from childhood to him being an astronaut.
Oh, that was an amazing book.
I have his two other ones. I just haven't gotten into them.
Yeah.
I got his last one for Christmas just now, but those two that I've totally read, I love them. They're great. Small books, nothing extravagant, but they're down to earth.
Down to earth, and they get you to think.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, listen, Larry, you have a great Happy New Year to you, and all the best, and get yourself over to Cody's.
I will, definitely.
All right. You take care.
You too. Bye.
Right. Bye-bye. I was Larry, number 54 on Mike Farwell's list. A Force for Good, Force for Reckoning. Talking about some books. Adam Savage's book, Every Tool is a Hammer. Haven't read that one. Then he mentioned Chris Hadfield's first book. I've read that one, and I remember reading it, and I was just amazed at how this kid from just outside Sarnia, Ontario, gets it in his mind as a kid that he's going to be an astronaut, right? Oh, maybe we all thought like that when we were kids, but he made it come true. He just kept on trucking and got to the point where he was off in space, right? Taking a look at it, playing his guitar and just circling around the globe. Just an amazing story. Let's hear your story. 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. Toll free, 1-800-570-5715. Any other books that you would recommend? I wrapped up 2025. I've been reading a couple of books by Adam Schultz, Shoalts. He is a Canadian author. He's like the last great explorer. And he was doing a book talk at the Princess Cinema back in October. My wife and I went there and just held us. We were captivated in his story that he was telling. And he's got, I think it's 6 books that are out right now. And I've read through the one. And it was it looked at 10 maps that shaped Canada. And that book came out about 8 years ago now. And he was talking about, well, it came back onto the bestseller list just this past year, and he couldn't really understand why it would all of a sudden jump back up again. And his one of his agents, I think, that works with him said, well, you've got to think about what they're talking about south of the border, about that border, is non-existent. It's a fake line. It's all these things. So if you're a historian or a history buff at all, read the book, and it talks about the fact that there's a reason why those lines are where they are, and we've got to pay attention to those things and keep them in our minds. I always enjoy Stephen King, and I've just finished his most recent book, and it was an interesting one because it really combined two stories at the same time. And when I first picked the book up, I wasn't too sure about that, but I liked how he had put everything together and made it all happen, and just kind of pulled it all together and again was just woven in there and pulled back together. So really, a really great story. It is the year of the horse, right? We're saying goodbye to the year of the snake, and let's giddy up. The year of the horse. What does that mean? Calling in things like freedom and strength and momentum and radiance, courage, expansion, passion, clarity, vitality, prosperity, wildness, confidence, awakening, breakthrough, and devotion. All connected to 2026, the year of the horse. All right? So does that resonate with you? Let that roll around in your brain for a little bit. Marinate in your brain juices and think about what does that mean for you. I know for some people it's just another day on the calendar, but if you look at it and you think, hey, we get one day at a time, you're absolutely right. And the ultimate goal is to make the most of every one of those days. All right? So happy year of the horse, 2026. And we'll have a chance to chat and look at some other things that are happening. Coming up here for the rest of the day today, just after the 11 o'clock news, I'll be joined by Emma Miller, and she's going to be talking to us about her book, her 10-book set, all about the Doonies, Doonies. And then 11:30, we'll have a chance to chat with Scott Hamilton, Cambridge City Councillor, how you can get your own cool Captain Canuck T-shirt, and what's coming up in the city of Cambridge for 2026. Flip side, we want to hear your New Year's resolutions, and we also have from noon until 1. It's that time to rant or rave, to smile or frown. It's the 12 o'clock Talkback Hour. It's your chance. We've already heard Doug called in about the jack wagons that he's running into heading down to Niagara Falls. Let's hear about you as well, too. Give us a call, but stay with us. You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio.
High today, scattered flurries, risk of snow squalls, and then later this evening, calmer, quieter conditions as we drop to -10. Trace amounts to 2 centimeters of snow possible Saturday, sun and cloud for Sunday. Our high today, -7.
And now, right now, outside the 570 News Radio studio, cloudy skies, some light snow, temperature sitting at -8, wind chill feeling more like -16. 570 News Time, 11:03. Stratford police are continuing their search for a missing person, now offering a $10,000 reward for any new information. It's centered around Derek Ritz, who was first reported missing by Perth County OPP back on January 7th of 2017. They say he was last seen at a home in the village of Sebringville December 31st, 1 week before then. Now, 2 years later, as the investigation continued, Perth County OPP transferred the case to Stratford Police, who've continued those efforts since. They're now offering that $10,000 reward for any information that could help confirm his whereabouts, arrest those responsible, or help those to close the case. You can find a photo of Derek right on our website, kitchener.citynews.ca. News coming up next at 11:30. Make sure you continue listening throughout the course of the day. I'm Justin Kohler, 570 News Radio.
The news,
the opinions,
and the perspective.
This is the Mike Farwell Show, Friday 4 panel on 570 News Radio. A magical Dooney Day. Have a magical Dooney Day. If you have some time and can stay for a while, a Dooney's tale I have to hopefully make you smile. In the forest of Doon, where the wild breezes blow, live some magical creatures in trees in a row. They're called the Doonies, and their love for life is big. But sometimes they need help, and into their feelings they must dig.
Ah, yes. The lovely voice of local talent, Eric Traplin. Brock Greenhalgh in for Mike Farwell today. Emma Miller was a published poet during her teenage years before transitioning into a successful executive assistant in the technology field. The inspiration for the Doonies, and that was what Eric was just singing about, stemmed from a walk with her dogs, Kevin and Riggs, back in the fall of 2022. The idea of tiny magical creatures inhabiting the enchanting woodlands that Emma had stumbled upon simply popped into her head. The Doonies had burst onto the scene, demanding to be written about. In one single fevered night, Emma outlined all 10 books with interconnected storylines. Just like that, on the same evening, she began writing book 1. Emma Miller, welcome to the show, and Happy New Year as well, too.
Thank you very much, and Happy New Year to you.
So, a 10-book series all planned out over one night. I'm guessing caffeine played a role in that night, Emma.
You would be correct, yes. It was a late evening, but it was splendiferous.
And I'm guessing that your walks were taking you through an area of Doon. Is that possible?
That is correct, yes.
Right.
So I was born and raised in Kitchener, and at the time we were living in Doon South in Kitchener, which has beautiful forests, and that is where they made their entrance and gave me all these stories.
And where... sorry, I didn't mean to jump on you there.
No, please, go ahead.
I was just going to say, where are we in that 10-book series right now?
Yes, so I have finished and published the first 4 books.
Perfect.
I'm currently writing book number 5 right now, which is when we're going to meet Dooney Awesome at the Magic Well. So far, we've met the main characters of Dooney Dawn and Bobrick, Woot, which is the wise old oak tree,
right,
and many others.
All right, and when you sat down and started putting this all together, I'm imagining one of those big vision boards, because how else could you map out those 10 stories or those 10 books?
It's a good point. And funnily enough, I do have one that's similar in terms of like a spider graph of how all the stories connect. But it was a very unique experience. As you mentioned, I was a poet in my teen years, mm-hmm. but I had never had aspirations to become a children's author until they literally popped into my head. So I feel very honored that they chose me in that sense. It really came out of nowhere. So when I say I had 10 stories worth in one night, I literally did get sort of handed them. So they're all written out. I know how the characters connect and mm-hmm. what we're building to in book 10. But it'll be a few years yet before I finish them. They tend to get finished about every 4 to 5 months.
Okay, all right. I had an author on earlier in the day today talking about his sort of process. Do you have a process where certain time of the day is set aside for writing?
Yes, funnily enough, they tend to come to me in the middle of the night.
Okay,
so somewhere around sort of 3 or 4 a.m.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. I have an antique writing bench in my house called Elizabeth.
I love it.
And she has it's a conversation bench, so she has a little nook inside of her.
Yep.
And that's where I keep all my notes and all of my ongoing stickies about where we are. So when the urge strikes, it tends to be really early in the morning, and I'll go out for about 2-3 hours, and then that's just about when my daughter's getting up. So
there you go.
Out well.
Perfect. On the website, I see that Canadian comedian Kevin McDonald from Kids in the Hall, he's a big fan of the Doonies. How did he get involved in the project?
Yeah, I was so honored that he loved them. So I reached out to him through his agent and sent him a copy of the book. And we chatted a bit back and forth, and he very kindly agreed to do that endorsement video for me, which I was so pleased with. And yeah, it was a really great promotion for me, but I was just so pleased that he liked the characters too.
And then you managed to convince Eric Traplin to record a new song, and that is, something he hasn't done in a while. How did that come about, and what's it like working with Eric?
Oh, he's such a sweetheart.
Yes.
He, I mean, again, since I'm from the area, I remember Eric from when I was about my daughter's age, coming to the schools or doing festivals.
Yeah.
And so when the Doonies came to me, I happened to be, I believe, in Facebook one day and saw Eric and remembered all the good songs that he had written. So I thought I would reach out to him just to kind of say hi. And then he commented on he had seen the Doonies. So we started talking back and forth, and he invited me to come out to his house and have tea with him and his lovely wife, Ruth. And it went from there. So he's such a great collaborator, and we're also toying with the idea of having little theme songs for each one of the different characters, because they do have very distinct personalities. So one's more of like a bluesy vibe, and the other one's more of a pop song vibe. So we may have some more coming out in a little bit.
I love it. If someone wants to get their hands on copies of the book, where can they head?
Right from Amazon,
okay.
Actually. The physical copies are on Amazon. You can also find ebook versions on there. And I have also recorded the first two audiobooks on Audible.
Oh, very
so
cool.
You can find us on there as well.
All right. So, plans for 2026. What's coming up for Emma Miller this year?
Yeah, well, I've been invited to become a new board member at the Homer Watson Gallery for 2026. Which is such a great opportunity to get more involved with our local art scene, which ties right in with the Doonies. So I'll be getting more engaged with that at the end of the month. Again, the next Doonies book, so book 5, should be coming out this year, and I'm thinking probably in about another 3-ish months. So keep your eyes open for that. And then, Eric and I might have some other fun little songs coming out that we'll release through Spotify and Apple Music.
I love it. Do you have sort of like a support network of other local authors that you get together with?
Somewhat, yeah. There is the local KW Business Connections groups, and they have great artists in there from all different genres across the area. So, I enjoy going to those, and we get together usually once a quarter. It's great to get together.
When you get to that 10th book, do you think there's going to be more inspiration beyond that, and maybe in a different vein, sort of thing?
It's a good question. I'm not sure because this sort of surprised me, and I wasn't anticipating it. I hope they gave me a few more stories, but as it is right now, all of the books are lining up so that in book 10, all of the kids from all of the books end up at the wise old oak tree together on Christmas Eve.
Oh, very cool.
So I know it's building towards that, and I'd like it to come out around Christmas for the last one, and then we'll see.
If someone's new to the book series, what's the messages? What are people taking away from the books?
Yeah, great question. So they're elf-like creatures. However, I really like to make sure that each book has sort of real-life challenges that kids might face. So the main message is that it's about inclusivity, positivity, and friendship.
Love it.
I do put Canadian content in there as much as I can because I'm very proud that it's a solo Canadian creation. And their lessons learned go from the magical storyline to the human kid storyline so that they can see how they translate.
Have you had a chance to get into classes, into schools and share the story as well?
I sure have. Yeah. I'm always available if you go through my website for appearances and whatnot. And I love going to the local schools. I was at Braemar House in in the area last year, I believe. And that was such a nice one. I was there on a costume day, so I also got to go. I'm usually in my big Miss Emma poofy green dress.
Right.
I got to dress up a bit more for that one, so that was nice.
And what's the reaction been like from the kids when you get a chance to read the story and share the story?
They tend to not only laugh, but they tend to really gravitate towards Schnarf.
The frog, the purple frog.
That's right. So he is the Dooney's pet tree frog, and he is a small purple toad that barks. And they really, really seem to like him. So I always go with swag when I go. And his stickers and bookmarks tend to be the first ones to go. So I really, really like seeing that. And I'm going to put him in more in the next book for that.
Listen, Emma, thanks so much for giving us some of your time today. All the best as the next 5 books slowly roll out. And it's been great chatting with you today.
Thank you. And have a magical Dooney day.
I will do that. You too.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. That was Emma Miller. And I'm going to have a magical Dooney day. She's the author and has collaborated with Eric Traplin, has connected with Kevin McDonald, and the stories came to her from a walk back in 2022. And as she said, she had all of 10 of these books, all interconnected storylines, sort of all come to her in one evening. Amazing when we see those things happening. All the books are available on Amazon, so check out Emma Miller. Check out The Doonies, Doonies. And again, you can support a local author and get a chance to see that creative spark happening there as well, too. Give us a call, 519-570-2545. You can also call us on your cell, star 570. Toll free as well, 1-800-570-5715. We'll take a quick break, but stay with us. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio.
I really like to make sure that each book has sort of real-life challenges that kids might face. Mm-hmm. And so the main message is that it's about inclusivity, positivity, and friendship. I do put Canadian content in there as much as I can because I'm very proud that it's a solo Canadian creation. And their lessons learned go from the magical storyline to the human kid storyline so that they can see how they translate.
That was local author Emma Miller. Her book series, The Doonies, Doonies, now available on Amazon. Do yourself a favor, check out that book series. She has collaborated with Eric Traplin in the past, and it looks like they were going to be doing some more collaborating in the new year as well, too. So getting a chance to look at all these opportunities to be creative rather than consumptive in 2026. All of the ways that you can connect with your community, all of the ways that you can give back, and it's important. The leading song there, "Sitting on a Poor Man's Throne" by Copper Penny, local band, that made me think about or remind me of Rock This Town. If you haven't seen the documentary Rock This Town, I know that it was going to be at the Princess. I don't know if it's come and gone again or what the plan is there, but that's an amazing documentary all about if you're big into music, into local history. Check out Rock This Town and do yourself a favor. Did you watch Stranger Things? Did you see the finale of Stranger Things? I'm not going to be, I won't break any trade secrets or anything like that. I invested in that show for the last decade, and I watched the final episode with my youngest son and my wife yesterday. And all I'll say is that I think it was wrapped up properly, and it was emotional. And right from the get-go, back in 2016, the first time I saw the first episode, what caught me is the fact that it was right from my era. It was interesting because they talk about the main characters graduating from high school in 1989. Well, I was a graduate from high school in 1988. So music, the fashion, the what was important and what wasn't important, and all that sort of stuff, really, really resonated with me. So, did you watch that? Is there another series that you've been watching that you can't get enough of? My wife and I are still kind of in the middle of Welcome to Wrexham. Really like that one as well too. Those are some things you can check out as well too. And yeah, it's great to be thinking about, as I said, all of those ways to be creative rather than consumptive. That being said, I wouldn't mind consuming some pickled eggs or some beef jerky when I get a chance to head up to Cody's Egg Shack. And that's going to be happening in the next week or so. Yeah, looking forward to that as well, too. And, getting a chance to talk with authors and to talk with local politicians and to talk with people that are connected to what goes on in our own community. Really important for us to be able to do all that. So what we've got left in the day, just to kind of wrap things up for you here, at 11:30, we'll get an update from the news center. After that, we're going to have a chance to chat with a local politician. All right, Scott Hamilton, Cambridge City Councillor, and we'll have a chance to chat with him. A lot going on this year in Cambridge in 2026. And the idea, too, we know that 2026 is the next round of municipal elections. So I'm going to pick Scott's brain about that. Going to ask him how did the United Way get connected with the iconic Canadian superhero Captain Canuck. How can you get your own shirt? And what's going to be happening down in Cambridge in 2026? What's on for you? Are you still off today? Is it still one of those days where you don't know what day it is, or you're still in your pajamas and it's almost noon? Sitting at home watching, you've got the radio on, which is important, but maybe you're watching The Price is Right because you never get to watch that when you're regular, during the regular day. How are you spending your time? Are you shoveling more snow? Do you have a place to put it? The end of my driveway is getting narrower and narrower, and it just keeps coming. I get it. It's where we're supposed. We all chose to. Well, in most cases, we chose to live here. I saw this comedian the other night, and he was saying, you don't have to live here. You know that? He was from San Diego, and he was in Calgary. And he got up on stage with his toque and his jacket and everything. He said, I spent more money on winter clothing than I'm actually getting paid to be here. So, and you don't have to live here. But at the same time, I also saw another video where it was talking about how it's minus 20, you get a dumping of snow, and everybody is just you're back to normal, right? This is the way you do it. It's not like the world didn't come to an end, right? It just you just get up and get moving again and make those things happening, right? We're resilient as Canadian folk, right? Lots of things to be proud of as we look at this new year. After 11:30, from before we get to the new news, we'll have a chance to hear your New Year's resolutions, and you can give us a call with that. Then that last hour, I don't know, Jen, it's pretty quiet right now, but we're hoping that things are going to kick up for the Talkback Hour. Maybe some of you are just waiting. And as I said earlier in the show today, we are live. If you're listening right now and you're thinking this is a replay or a redo of something that was out there before, no. It is 11:25 a.m. on Friday, January the 2nd, 2026. We're live. We're right here. We're not Memorex. If you catch the reference, you were also probably graduating high school in 1988. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell, toll free, 1-800-570-5715. We're ready to take your rants. We're ready to take your raves. We're ready to, pull the soapbox out, whatever you need to talk to us about. Did you get your new garbage can yet? Have you got your new green bin yet? My wife came home the other day and said she saw them being handed out in our neighborhood, but I'm waiting with bated breath. Nothing has appeared on our doorstep yet. So we're hoping. All right. Stay with us, though. We're going to get an update from the News Center. You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio.
For, quote, years of inspiration, creativity, and support. It's also unclear how many jobs will be impacted through the move. A spokesperson with Fabricland confirms to 570 News Radio the doors will officially close on March 22nd. In sports, your Kitchener Rangers will be back at the Odd tonight for their first game of the calendar year against the Barrie Colts. That one gets going tonight at 7 o'clock, with the pregame show kicking off at 6:30. And the World Juniors are set to continue tonight, as well as Team Canada gets set to play Slovakia. That one is set to get going at 8:30 later tonight. Listen anytime on your smart speaker by asking it to play 570 News Radio. News next at 12. I'm Justin Kohler, 570 News Radio.
Your news
and his views. The Mike Farwell Show
on 570 News Radio and Rogers TV.
Brock Greenhalgh sitting in for the vacationing Mike Farwell this morning. Never fear. Mike will be back behind the mic on Monday morning. I had the chance to chat with our next guest this past Tuesday night at the KW Titans game. What caught my eye originally was this really cool Captain Canuck t-shirt. Scott Hamilton is a Cambridge City Councillor. He's the Senior Director of Philanthropy with the United Way, and he is the owner of that cool shirt. Welcome to the show, Scott. Happy New Year as well.
Happy New Year to you too, Brock. Thanks so much for having me on today.
No problem. Thanks for agreeing to be on the show. Let's start with the shirt. We chatted a little bit about it on Tuesday night. How did the United Way get connected with the iconic Canadian superhero Captain Canuck?
Well, I work two jobs. City Council is a part-time role, and my full-time job is Senior Director with our friendly neighborhood United Way of the region. And I happen to have grown up doing two things, Brock, reading comics and playing sports.
Right.
And so last summer, there was a small comic convention put on by Retro Rocket in downtown Guelph. I decided to go. I took my son, and there we actually met the creator of Captain Canuck, Richard Conley.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we got chatting, and he said, you work for United Way. Well, I always wanted to do some type of a promotion to help local charities through Captain Canuck. And I grew up reading those comics, so I said, Richard, I'm your guy. Let's work together. Let's figure this out. And we connected with the publishing house in Toronto that owns the rights, Lev Gleason, and we got their 1981 Captain Canuck Club member logo for the shirt. We added United Way, and we came up with a really cool-looking shirt with a vintage logo where 100% of the proceeds went directly to charities in Cambridge and one of their region.
Love it.
We ended up selling those shirts. Every single province and territory bought a shirt. It went all the way up to Iqaluit. We sold them all throughout the United States, over in Europe. It was a tremendous success. It was a lot of fun, and it was an honor to work with Richard and Captain Canuck.
Are the shirts still available, or was it a sort of a single run, or can people still get those?
There is actually a second run of the shirts for anyone that's interested. So we ended up selling so many shirts in the first run where the central office of United Way contacted us and said, hey, you got to slow down. You're in danger of becoming a T-shirt merchant instead of a local charity. And so right now the shirts are still for sale. You can Google or go on down to Main Street in Galt to the merch room. And they still have the next variant of the shirt. They're in black, the same logo, and same deal where 100% of the proceeds still go to your local United Way, and we support over 80 charities across Cambridge and one of the region. Everything from homelessness, housing, mental health, food insecurity, children and youth. So you buy a shirt, you support Canadian charities, Canadian superheroes, and it's a fantastic quality shirt that also supports local businesses like the Merch Room.
I would think, Scott, and I don't know if it was tied directly to the pandemic, but I know that from roles that I've been in as well too, volunteerism and donations and all of those they all seem to have kind of slipped off since the pandemic. And are you sort of constantly looking for new ways of tapping into those resources?
100%. I think every charity in Canada, Ontario especially, has seen a decline in donations. The pandemic being one, people became very insular. People turned inwards. People went more digital than in person, and it's very tough to ask someone for money to support a charity through an email or a text compared to going in, engaging someone in person. So we've seen everything from changing population demographics to the rise of technologies, reducing that social medium that used to be so conducive or helpful to supporting others in need. That's all dropping. So every charity in Cambridge and Waterloo region right now is just really feeling the pinch in a time of economic crisis and an affordability crisis. So anyone out there who's listening, if you ever have anything to spare, any local charity would really benefit from help at this time of year, because we are seeing drastically escalating need in our community at the exact moment when funding is drying up. So it's definitely creating quite the challenge for every charity and nonprofit in Waterloo region right now.
Well said, Scott. And that you hit the nail on the head with that for sure. If we take a look through the lens of your other role as a counselor in Cambridge, what's coming up for Cambridge in 2026? What are the highlights? What's going to be happening down there?
Yeah, put on my other hat. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
I always say being a city councilor is the weirdest part-time job you can ever have. So just switch hats from the full-time to the part-time job.
Well, I was going to say full-time hours, but it's a part-time position, right?
Yeah, 100%. So Cambridge in 2026, there's a lot of exciting projects coming up. On the kind of more administrative end, the city's investing a lot in roads, water mains, playgrounds, parks. So there's a lot of that kind of basic infrastructure and social infrastructure that the city is investing in. So that is exciting, but I think we've got new key pieces of city infrastructure, like the Preston Auditorium will be fully operational, the recreation complex in Southeast Galt and Ward 7, that should be up and running. And of course, we've got discussions ongoing about things like the LRT, light rail transit coming to Cambridge, issues with heritage conservation districts, and of course, the challenge right now in an age of President Trump, tariffs and economic uncertainties, how to really support both local small businesses and those larger industries we have in Cambridge, like the nuclear sector, the automotive sector, really trying to bolster them both within the context of Waterloo region, Ontario, Canada, and also internationally in Europe as well.
We're also coming into an election year, a municipal election in 2026. I would guess that you and your colleagues are already sort of preparing for October. Where are you at with that?
Yeah, it's the technical term, I think, is silly season. That's what we're entering into. My philosophy is always just to do the exact same thing I've done since day one. Approach it with listen to the community, think very critically and openly about what people have to say, and ask, well, what can I do in my role as a part-time city councilor to make a difference that will support the community and really create a positive change, not just for the present, but also for the future. So I think myself and every single one of my colleagues and every single elected official municipally is probably being asked that question. Hey, what are you going to do for October 2026? And right now the focus is the same thing I think we've all done since day one, which is just listen to constituents, look at the evidence, talk to staff and the experts, and try and make whatever difference we can to increase the quality of life in Cambridge, both for the present and future generations to come.
You mentioned that idea of, since the pandemic, a lot of kind of that shift to, insular, dealing with things insular and electronic and all those kinds of things. How important is it to you, though, to still get out there and knock on doors to talk with your constituents?
Oh, it's key. It's critical. And that was something I realized when I first ran back in 2020. It was a by-election. Mm-hmm. And I remember there was a lot of contentious debate at that time about CTS sites, consumption and treatment service. Right. And the kind of online discourse, what was going on Facebook and the media, seemed to create this wave that all of Cambridge seemed to be opposed to these sites. And it was only when I went out and started knocking on doors hours a day, you found that the level of discussion was actually the opposite. The majority of people were actually very supportive of it. People had real lived experience with family members that had benefited from it. And it turned out the only people that really embraced that kind of anti-sentiment were those that didn't have that experience and had been, ironically, reading Facebook, reading the news. Yeah. And so it really taught me the lesson that you have to get out there and just meet people on doorsteps, go to events, speak to people in person. That's the only way to really assess what's going on in the community, to hear what the community is really feeling, and to translate that into clear, rational policy that can make a difference in the future.
And I applaud you for doing that, because you're right. It's one thing for someone to sit and be a keyboard warrior and share either misinformation or misleading information, at least in a lot of ways. But when you get to that face to face and have a chat with someone, honesty and eye contact and making a connection rules over all of those other things.
Yeah, 100%. And I always tell people I never make promises. I'll do whatever I can. But you never write a check that your rear end can't cash, right? And when it comes to any contentious issue, a lot of times when you hear delegations at City Council, they are people that feel very passionately about an issue. Typically, if it's a development, they're against it. So they might come out and say, we're opposed to this. You get a number of people. But how many listeners out there and how many members of the public? So, I'm paying my bills, I'm raising my kids. I generally feel fine about this issue. Are they going to write in? Are they going to delegate? Are they going to come and approach you? Well, probably not, because they're kind of neutral on it, or they're supportive, but they're just busy. And so that's where that public engagement, that door knocking, that getting out and getting the pulse of the community really makes a difference, because it's the only way to accurately assess as best as possible how the community feels about important issues.
Well, and thank you again for what you're doing. And we know that the 2026 is, as you said, it's silly time. There's a lot going on that's going to be happening in the next 7 or 8, 9 months sort of thing. So all the best with everything. And thanks for giving us some of your time today, Scott. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Brock. Appreciate it, and Happy New Year to you. Happy
New Year to you as well, too. Thanks so much. Oh, Scott Hamilton, Cambridge councillor. He's also connected with the United Way. Many, many different hats that he wears, and just by chance happened to have a chat with him on Tuesday night, and it's that idea of when I take on this role and I get to jump in and help out when Mike's away, he gives me a lot of leeway. He says, it's your show. Do what you want to do. So I think about, who are the people I want to talk with? And it's not always easy, because especially this time of year, people are on holidays, and it's that idea of getting and touching base with people and keeping in the forefront how people are feeling and where they're at when it comes to everything from municipal politics to what's going on around the world and what's going on in your backyard. All right. Give us a call, 519-570-2545. You can also reach us toll free, 1-800-570-5715. If you're on a cellular device, star 570 works as well, too. And be a part of the conversation. We are going, we'll take a break in a minute or so. And when we come back, we'll take a few minutes of the flip side. I want to hear your New Year's resolutions. Give us a call. Let us know. Maybe you don't make them. Maybe the world needs to change to meet your needs. That's a possibility as well, too. And then from noon until 1, it's your chance. Your chance to rant, rave, smile, frown, jump up and down. Tell us what's got you going and what you're talking about today. Did you see the lineup for the Canadian men's Olympic team? Do you want to argue about who some of the players that should or shouldn't be on that squad? Anyway, give us a call. But stay with us. You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio.
Up there, sticks.
And lace up.
There's always the potential for magic to happen on the ice. There's something special about this core that makes every matchup unmissable.
Greatness doesn't happen by accident.
This team is built to win.
They score! They score! Holy mackerel, they score!
Your home for the Toronto Maple Leafs in Waterloo region. 570 News Radio.
Thursdays on Bravo.
Hello, everyone.
The 90210 Housewives are back with some new friends.
Something's off with this girl.
I think she's fake. I think she plays both sides.
And it's going to be...
You are not being clear about your life.
A Tinseltown...
Read the room and know your place.
Showdown.
You're lying. And you know what doesn't lie? The cameras.
The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. All new. Thursdays at 8 on Bravo, or stream it on City TV Plus.
If it says hazardous, it usually means one thing: don't touch. For hazardous waste removal, trust the professionals at Panda Environmental. They have the experience, knowledge, and the equipment to handle just about any waste removal project. From hazardous and liquid industrial waste to pit cleanouts and electronic waste recycling, Panda's drum and vacuum trucks allow them to take on any size job quickly, safely, and affordably. For all your hazardous waste removal, pick the Panda. Proudly Canadian and proudly local. Visit pandaenvironmental.com.
Advertising where your customers are listening is now within reach. Introducing Ad Manager, the ad buying platform designed for businesses of all sizes. No ad buying experience required. Get your message on air with professionally produced ads at no extra cost. Stand out with premium radio placement that connects your business to trusted Rogers Sports and Media audiences. We'll help you get started with up to $500 off your next campaign. Elevate your business today. Visit grow.rogersportsandmedia.com.
He's the voice of reason in Waterloo Region.
The Mike Farwell Show continues on 570 News Radio and Rogers TV.
Anyone out there who's listening, if you ever have anything to spare, any local charity really benefit from help this time of year, because we are seeing drastically escalating need in our community at the exact moment when funding is drying up. So it's definitely creating quite the challenge for every charity and nonprofit in Waterloo Region right now.
That was Scott Hamilton. He, as he mentioned, wears a couple of different hats. He is the Senior Director of Philanthropy with the United Way. He is also a Cambridge City Councillor, talking there about the fact that, you know, it's really, really difficult for local organizations like the United Way, that is like an umbrella group, because donations are down, and we know it's not easy. It's cyclical. It happens, and we see where people are struggling to make ends meet. You know, if you're making the decision between groceries and rent, or groceries and medications, and all of those things. But if you have the means to give, if you have the means to help out, right? That idea of you can give of your time, you can give of your talents, you can give of your voice. All of those things are worthwhile. Brock Greenhalgh sitting in for Mike Farwell. Mike it will be back on Monday. Speaking of giving back to your community, there's a guy who never stops. He will be working this evening as the Kitchener Rangers take to the ice against the Barrie Colts, and I wish him all the best, and all the best for the new year as well too. And thanks to him for giving me a chance to get in here and have a little bit of fun. I have a Cody update, a Cody's Egg Shack update. When I go onto his Facebook profile right now, this morning he was at 8.6 thousand, so 8,600 followers. It's now at 8,700. I don't know the exact number, but he has a lot more followers. And I just got a lovely message from his mom. She sent us a note to say, she said, that's an amazing shout out. Thanks so much. There are currently 5 cars lined up to get into the Egg Shack, so we're sending them. It's like, remember at the end of Field of Dreams? If you build it, they will come. And they pull back the camera and you see all the cars going off for miles and miles and miles trying to make their way to the ball diamond. I can picture that happening out on Concession 14 near Walkerton. Go get your eggs. Go get your pickled eggs. Go get your beef jerky. Leave some of the swag, though, all right? Leave some of the swag, because I got to pick some stuff up there when I head up next week. And that would just be awesome. So keep going. Get onto Facebook. Check out Cody's Egg Shack. All you have to do is hit subscribe, and it will show that you're following. And you're just it's making a big impact. All right. So follow along. Get that above ground pool to become a reality. And as I said earlier today, if you happen to have a connection with something related to above ground pools, if you know somebody or you know somebody who knows somebody, let me know, and let's make that a reality for this young individual. Lots of chances. We've got an hour or more coming up where you can call in 519-570-2030. 2545, star 570 on your cell, toll free 1-800-570-5715. And we need to know what's on your mind. We've already heard of the jack wagons that Doug was dealing with heading down to Niagara Falls. And, he's just like, put your lights on. It's right around the news station right now. It's still blowing and snowing a little bit here. Wherever it happens to be, put your lights on, right? Just do the right thing. And we want to hear from you. We want to see what's going on. Again, we're live. This is your chance. This is your chance to call in and let us know what's going on. What are your plans for the weekend? You're just going to relax and take it easy? Are you the kind of person who takes down their holiday decorations already? Do you leave them up until, a little bit later into January? Are you the kind of person that leaves up your outdoor lights all year long so that on June 30th, your neighbors are still complaining, but July 1st, you look like you're a pro because you're way ahead of the game, right? Where do you find yourself in those situations when it comes to the lights? The lights tend to stay on until it gets a little warmer for me to go back out and take them all down. But that's where we're at. We started to undecorate last night. The main tree came down. There's more than one, don't you know? How many trees do you have, if you have trees on the inside of your home? Lots of things for us to talk about. Again, are you a curmudgeon? Do you need to rant? Do you need to just go off on something? What's happening in the world, and or do you want to rave? Do you want to rave about things? Lots of good things we've been talking about today, right? How well the KW Titans have been doing. We've had a chance to talk to some authors about some great books that you might want to be reading this year, and it's been great. We started off the conversation with that idea of what do you do with all your garbage when you're inside a high-rise building and it doesn't get separated. That would drive me crazy. If I knew that I'd already separated out the garbage and the recycling and any of the bio compost, the green bin stuff, and then I watched the truck dump them all into one big bin, then I'd be ranting, right? Then I'd be calling into the radio station and giving them my thoughts. That's what you get to do. 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. Toll free, 1-800-570-5715. If you're making your way up to Cody's Egg Shack, let us know what you bought. Let us know what the roads are like up there as well, too. We're going to come to the top of the hour, get an update from the news center, but then it's your chance to rant or rave. It is Talkback for an hour from noon until 1. Stay with us. You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio.
Take out the papers and the trash, or you don't get no spending cash. If you don't scrub that kitchen floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yaggity yak.
Don't talk back.
Just finish cleaning up your room. Let's see that dust fly with that broom. Night.
Don't talk back.
Yes. It's the Talkback Hour. This is your chance. Rant, rave, pull out that soapbox, complain about the Leafs. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. You can also reach this toll-free 1-800-570-5715. Brock Greenhalgh in today for Mike Farwell. He is, he's enjoying another day, and I'm happy to be able to fill in and give him a bit of a break, right? He's got to work tonight. Call the Rangers game, so happy to be here. Dallas, you are first in line today. Thanks so much for giving us a call. What's on your mind today?
Well, I honestly, I'm sorry, but I noticed you didn't have a whole lot of callers. So I got a few points here I'd like to make.
Go for it. All the help I can get, man.
Well, fair enough. I know one thing. I'm getting tired of watching snow fall.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Fair enough. So your first gentleman there, the author of the Prime Minister's book.
Yes.
I think that's a wonderful thing. I don't know how it would get taught in schools, even though it should be. It would be wonderful if they could, put something in there for that. But, I'm a great historian, 61 years of age, and I know a lot about this country dating back to Jock Carthy's days of 1534 when he landed in my hometown.
There you go.
So, anyways, I just wanted to say kudos to him for that, and I'm looking forward to picking up a copy and finding something.
There you go.
Mr. Hamilton,
yes,
I got to tell him, and I hope he's listening, that he is probably one of the finest politicians that this area has seen in a long time, simply because of his attitude.
Well, I like to hear that as well, too. Thanks for that, Dallas.
Well, you know what? When he said, I make no promises.
Yeah.
And
which politician has ever said that?
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
He when he said, I do not promise anything that I cannot deliver, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. As far as Doug with his jackass jail, well, I'm sorry, buddy. You're on the road all day. When I'm walking, I look at these jackasses and I'm thinking, man.
Oh yeah, people. You wonder if they got their license out of a bubblegum machine.
Well, there you go. Cracker Jack box.
There you go. Well,
Rangers, they're going to win tonight.
All right, I'm glad to hear that too.
There's no doubt about that, and I'm sure I will hear Mr. Farwell's voice on the radio.
There you go.
New Year. Well, I'm not a fan of resolutions or whatever, but I do believe, and I hope somebody out there is listening, that it is time for our country, excuse me, to tear down all these trade barriers between provinces. And I understand the concept of it, but I have never really understood it per se.
Right.
To say that, well, you can't sell your stuff over here and we can't sell your stuff over there. It makes no sense. We're all one country. Simple as that.
There you go. I like that. I like that idea, Dallas. And thanks so much for calling in, and I appreciate the call, and Happy New Year.
And same to you, my friend.
All right. Take care and go Rangers.
As always.
All right. Take care. Dallas with lots of ideas there, and I like that. He's talking about getting down interprovincial trade barriers. That if 2025 taught us anything, is that we had to look at a new way of doing lots of things. Right, everything from how do we look at our neighbors to the south, and how do we look to our neighbors to the north? When you look across the Arctic Circle there, and looking at how do we do things here at home, right? And making it happen, making new friends somewhere else. This is your chance. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. Toll free, 1-800-570-5715. As I said, Mike's away, but he'll be back tonight. And it's one of those in-between days, right? You don't know if you're supposed to get out of your jammies. Don't know how much cheese you're supposed to eat. Should you have a nap? You got to take the dog out for a walk. All of those things, right? But we're here. We're here for another 50 minutes or so. It's something else that's on your mind, something else that sort of, got in your a little bee in your bonnet, something that's bugging you. This is your chance, right? Give us a call. If today is your birthday, first of all, happy birthday. Here's your horoscope for today. If you were born on January the 2nd, you can't allow personal feelings to have any influence over what should be a purely rational decision. Okay. So act with your brain. That decision is going to be the foundation stone for all great things that you're going to build over the coming year. So make it wisely. Don't make decisions with your heart. Make them with your brain. Mary, I was hoping to hear from you. What's on your mind today? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Brock.
Thank you.
It's certainly lovely to have a live body on the other end. Oh, my, oh, my, oh, my.
I hear you. It's like I said, it's been a couple of days where it's like, you don't know what's going on.
There's so many encore presentations that I've taken to putting on CDs, and I say, I'm not listening to that again.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah,
only macaroni. Anyway, you're a live guy, and that's good, and you're a good guy, and happy that you're there.
Well, thank you.
And again, lovely show. I want to counsel you on one item, please.
Go for it. Let's hear it.
Do not take any of Mike's pens.
Oh, I've got one in my hand right now, and there's
you
a whole.
Better leave it there. Darn tootin', come on, on, Brock.
I know. There's a whole cup.
That's pilfering, you know that.
It's I think it's just is it borrowing or stealing? I don't know. I will try my best. It's just that he's got a lovely collection of pens, and I really should just leave them alone.
He bitches about it all the time when you come back. He does, and he says you don't leave the room there as it's supposed to be.
Come on now, that's a little.
Make a New Year's resolution, Brock. Yeah. And be a good guy.
I'll try my best. I'm looking around here, and we've got Farwell T-shirts up on the wall. I don't know. I try my best.
Listen, I wish you all the best in the new year, and I hope you'll be on again.
I'm looking forward to it, Mary. Hopefully, I'll be back in the summertime. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay,
thanks, and Happy New Year to you as well.
New Year, and I hope you'll be on again. I'm looking forward.
There we go. So Mary says I'm not supposed to touch the pens, and now. That's all I can do is think about the pen. And I've got one in my hand right now. Okay, I'm putting it down. Mike, I'm walking away from the pen. All right? Give me a break. Christine, Happy New Year. What's on your mind today?
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
I don't have as much to say as Dallas did, but I did want to comment that I have not seen my bins yet, and my son moved into a house in October in Waterloo, and before he even put the keys in the door, he had his bin.
Wow.
And I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
It's like I'm so excited to get them. I've got the spot all ready to put them and bring them on. It's like, yeah.
I've seen the map, and the where we are located in the map, it says, in progress or in process or something like that. So,
delivery in progress.
Yes.
Very
We'll see what happens.
Dense area, I guess, so it's going to take a long time for them to get to every household, but anyway, I'm ready.
All right. Any New Year's resolutions for you, Christine, or you don't go down that path?
No, I don't normally do that kind of stuff. I guess I'm hoping for things in this year to come, like maybe something to happen to him that will fix all our problems. That if that happens, great. But I'm not holding my breath on that one.
Right, right. Like maybe he could wake up one morning and be like Scrooge and just be like, oh my gosh, I need to change. Or maybe, who knows what, there's got to be a change or something's got to happen.
Yeah, I like it because it's like, three more years. That's the only thing about good is that we've been through a year, so there's only 3 left, right?
All right,
so
positive thinking.
We can do this.
I love it. Well, you all the best, and thanks for calling in.
You too. Have a good day.
You too. Christine, hoping that something happens to the leader down south, and I think that's a lot of people think that, right? And it brings to mind all of the things, and it's just like, what can I control? Is that in my control? And do I just, what's that the new sort of thing? Let them. But I don't know if I can get behind that one. We'll see. Give us a call though. What's on your mind? It's your chance to rant, your chance to rave. 519-570-2545 star 570 on your cell. Toll free 1-800-570-5715. This pen just made it back into my hand again, Mike, and it's a good one. It's one of the Z grips or Z grips. as we say, up this part of the world. We just wanted to know what's going on and what's happening. If you're, let's look at your birth month. What do you want to hear? Aries. Anyone an Aries out there? March 21st to April 20th. Here's your horoscope. We'll get it in quickly. The approaching full moon could cause you some grief today, so promise yourself that no matter what happens, you won't let yourself get too upset. Remember, the best way to deal with annoying people is to remove yourself from their orbit. Ooh, I like that, right? Remove yourself from their orbit. Move away. Taurus, April 21st to May 21st. Your ability to get your point of view across simply and effectively will be tested today and over the weekend. Ooh. Upcoming full moon means you must think slowly and carefully before opening your mouth. Better still, say nothing at all. Ooh, I like that one as well, too. We got 2 ears and 1 mouth. We should be listening twice as much as we speak, as I continue to speak into your ears. If someone pokes, this is for Gemini, if someone pokes their nose into your private affairs today, tell them to unpoke it again before they lose it. Wow, we're not taking any nonsense today. You're in no mood to humor people who refuse to respect your privacy. There are more important matters that need to be dealt with. I'll come back to more, but it's your chance to rant or rave. Stay with us. You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh sitting in for Mike Farwell today. Yes, we're live. Yes, I have his pen. Nate the Great and number 8. What's on your mind today, Nate?
Not too much, Brock. I'm glad to hear that you're feeling better.
Well, thank you.
You must have had a different bug than me because mine lasted for like 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Mine's kind of hung on that. I'm still not 100%, but wow.
Yeah, me and my wife are both kind of still, we get a cough once in a while, but, headaches and stuff. But yeah, it was nasty. We had to cancel like pretty much all of our Christmas stuff. It was quite the bummer.
Well, and it's that time of the year, right? And it's like we're all trapped inside and we're wanting to get out, but people understand, I think.
Now, I don't know if it's been talked about because I didn't know you guys were on air today.
Mm-hmm. No problem.
Until maybe an hour ago. Have they announced the snowfall amount for December yet?
It came up in I don't know if we've got the total amount, but the last thing was, it was talking about how December was the second coldest December in the last 20 years. But I'll have to.
I'm going to guess it's going to probably be a record snowfall.
I'm going to see. On a break, I'll check it and see if I can figure out. An answer
month of
for
December, because man, it's too much. Like, I'm disabled. I can't even really shovel. My poor wife's been out there all the time having to shovel.
And there's no place to put it.
No, it's. We have a hydrant on our front yard, too, so it's like we got to make sure it's clear, but the snow's now over top of the hydrant, and they haven't flagged them yet. So if someone's listening from the city, you might want to get out there and flag the hydrants before it's too late.
There you go. That's a good piece of advice as well, too. Any New Year's resolutions for you, Nate?
I'm just going to try to do better and be on Team Human, so I'm going to be... I'm going to be running for MP in Kitchener-Conestoga if the election comes up. So with the Green Party there, so it's a long shot, but like I said, I want to be on Team Human. I'll be looking for volunteers coming up soon.
All right,
get out there and start visiting a bunch of places.
I love to hear that, Nate. And Team Human, we all need to be on that same team.
Yeah. There's too much going on in the world, and we need to realize that we're just on this ball together. So.
Absolutely. All the best to you. All the best to you and your wife, and all the best for 2026.
You as well, my friend. Take care.
Take care. That was Nate. He's number 8 on Farwell's Force for Good. Use the Force. And he wants to know how much snow has fallen. I'm going to find that out. I'm going to find out how much snow has fallen. I was also digging through here because I'd mentioned this. The documentary Rock This Town had been playing at the Princess, but I must have missed it, which is unfortunate. It's not coming up on their website as well. And I don't know if there's any other place that we can track that down. If you know Rock This Town, the documentary, and if you have any connection to it, if there's anywhere we can find it to play it, let me know, and we'll go from there, because it tells a great story. All right, what's on? What's happening around the neighborhood while we wait for another phone call? What's going on? Let's see. Today, there is a scavenger hunt at the library in Fergus, another scavenger hunt at the library in Puslinch. If you are looking to learn a little bit more, there's a book club going on. Oh, no, that's already happened. Let's jump ahead to tomorrow. Let's look at what's happening on Saturday so that you can make some plans and see what's happening in and around KW in the neighborhood. A craft extravaganza is on tomorrow at the Waterloo Public Library, the McCormick branch. So maybe you want to check that out. Robo Builders for Families, Waterloo Public Library East Side branch is tomorrow at 10:30 as well too. Christine, what's on your mind today? Hey there, Christine.
Hi. All right. Last night, where I'm living right now, it's Christine that was evicted from the encampment.
Yes.
Okay. Her dog was attacked by a pit bull terrier last night. And her dog is a guide dog.
Oh, my
and
gosh.
helps her.
Oh, my. Okay. Does the dog require some care at this point?
Well, she's talked to her vet, and it wasn't bleeding or anything like that. It's just more of a terror for the dog because they were coming off or coming onto the elevator when this dog come and attacked her dog, grabbed it in its mouth and was shaking it.
Oh, boy. I'm sorry to hear that. And that's no way to start the new year.
No, it's not.
Well, anything that we can do, maybe off air, you can give your contact info to Jen, and anything that we can do, let's see what we can do to help out. Because, if you've got a dog, you've got, that's your responsibility. You need to look after that thing, and it's your responsibility. It's not out there on its own.
Well, especially if it's a guide dog and
100%.
it's helping my friend out.
Absolutely.
That type of dog should not be allowed in this building.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm glad that, like you said, though, it's a traumatic experience for the owner and for the dog as well too. And I'm sorry you've had to deal with that, but we'll get the word out.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Mike, and you have a very nice New Year. And we'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. Happy New Year. So there you go. I mean, it's just all of these things that are. I don't like hearing those kinds of stories, but we'll continue to move forward, right? That's all we can do. We're coming to the bottom of the hour. We will take a quick break, but you still get a chance to call in, all right? You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh sitting in for Mike Farwell. Mike will be back on Monday. It is still Talkback for the next half hour or so. Maria is a first-time caller. Thanks for joining us, Maria. What's on your mind today, Maria?
Hello, Brock. Thank you for having a live show today.
Oh, happy to do it.
I want to just mention about I live in the city of Kitchener, and the sidewalks where I live are just treacherous.
Oh,
and
boy.
Unfortunately, people, I don't think, realize they're responsible to clear the walks. I use public transit. I walk everywhere I go, and I do have a pair of winter boots that have the built-in spikes, so I make my way to stay upright every day.
Oh my! And I hear you, Maria. We got ourselves a dog about a month ago, and I've been in charge of taking him for walks. And there are some, as you said, it's treacherous, and people, you got to make sure you're staying on top of stuff, salt, sand, whatever needs to be done to get that down to. Get it down to the concrete so that we aren't slipping and sliding, and Maria doesn't have to rely on the sharp pieces on the bottom of her boots.
With drivers too is as a pedestrian, I wear a reflector vest on top of my winter parka, and I still had near misses with people driving past me, and it's just frightening actually too. That's a different topic.
Well, but again, it's safety is safety first, right? And we're doing our best to make this a more pedestrian friendly community. But a lot of people got to be paying attention when they're out there driving. That's for sure.
Yeah, thank you. And if I could just mention a book, the title is "The Day I Bought a Teddy Bear and a Vibrator: Unapologetically Me."
Wow.
By Magdalena Giovanna Rosa.
All right, Maria, there you go. You've covered all the bases.
It's actually a book about self-love, and Jack Canfield wrote a testimonial. This book is an extraordinary poem, describes the refreshingly candid and raw journey of the awakening and self-liberation of a modern-day female roomie.
I love it.
This book actually is available at Old Goat Bookstore in Uptown Waterloo.
There you go.
William Street East. All right.
All right. I like the plug for the Old Goat too. Thanks so much, Maria.
Right. I love the Old Goat. Erica and her people are wonderful.
They are for sure.
One last thing. Go
Yes.
Rangers, go.
I love it. Thanks, Maria. Happy New Year.
And to you, Brock.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Take care. So there you go. That's Maria covered a lot of bases there. Sidewalks, clear off your sidewalks, folks. Okay. I know it's a pain, but get out there or get someone else to do it for you, because there's been a couple of times we've been walking the dog, and if I go down, I know I got a new knee back in May, but the other knee is still 56 years old, so I got to go down on the good knee if that's even a possibility. Yeah, we got a new dog, and this is, you talk about New Year's resolutions and all that. We had a yellow lab. Zeke was our good boy, and we had him for 11 years back when the kids were younger. And 4 years ago, we lost Zeke. He had cancer, and at the time I said, never again. I am not going to get another dog, because I was brokenhearted, and I wasn't the only one. And we just decided, nope, that's it. It's that was our one shot only. We had him for 11 years, and he was gorgeous and a good boy. Then back in October, we dog sat for my sister-in-law, and Charlie came to stay with us for 3 weeks. And just hearing the nails on the wood floor and all that stuff, and getting him moving again. Long story short, we ended up we adopted a dog from Texas. And they had said he was about 1.5 years old. Well, I think he was more like 9 months old. They had named him Griffin. We've kept the name Griffin. And he is a Griffin. He is something else. Even being from Texas, he loves the snow. Kathy, what's on your mind today?
I heard that lady call in about the treacherous sidewalks.
Yes.
And I just wanted to give a different spin on it, if I may.
Yep.
I live on my own, but I pay to have my sidewalks cleaned all the time.
Oh, okay.
But I'm also on a street where kids are walking to school. So my guy is there probably at 7 in the morning. He plows my sidewalks. But if snow falls in the meantime and all these kids are walking back and forth on it, it becomes packed, and then it turns to ice.
Yeah.
And then it snows again on top of it. So for me to go out and put salt or sand on top of the snow gives it nothing. It gives it nothing at all.
Right.
All I'm doing is clearing the area so that they can properly walk on an area that probably doesn't mean they have to climb over banks.
Right.
The other side of this is I prefer to use sand as opposed to salt, because I do know the stuff that happens with salt going into our water.
Right.
So that's a dilemma. I live on my own. I'm a senior. I do the best I can. But to get out there and for me to chip ice after the fact is impossible.
I hear you, and that's it's completely different perspective. Here's what we can do, Maria. When the kids are walking back and forth to school, we get them to clear off the sidewalk.
Good luck on that one.
It builds resilience. It builds responsibility, all of those things.
Yeah, but the parents don't really see it that way.
A little bit of child labor? Okay, I guess not.
Yeah, I get it. I just wanted to put a different spin on it. That's all.
I appreciate the call, Kathy. Thanks so much, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Right, take care. Yeah, Kathy's idea is talking about, living on our own, being a senior, and if it's snowing during the daytime, it gets packed down with all the kids walking on it. All we can do is the best, right? And do the best that we can. If you got a snowblower, if you can help out your neighbors, There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever, right? We want to be able to help out the people that are around us and just make things a little bit easier, right? If you've got a snowblower, mine went on the fritz last year, so finished the winter of 2025 with the shovel in hand, and that was awful. Looked at a new snowblower. My neighbor she lives on her own, has a snowblower, doesn't really like getting out to use it. So I said, tell you what, I'll take care of your driveway and your sidewalk, and I'll look after the gas and maintenance and all that stuff if I can just use your snowblower this year. And that has worked out well for both of us. Let's just put it that way. So that, again, looking to help out people in need and the things that put us all back together. What's on your mind? We've still got 20 minutes almost. If you got a rant or a rave, you can give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell, toll free, 1-800-570-5715. And let's hear about, where do you sit? What's your New Year's resolution? What are the things that are on your mind already? Maybe there's something out there that we haven't even talked about at all. And, you're just, like I mentioned before, They've given us the lineup for the men's Olympic hockey team. I haven't seen the women's list yet. I've got to double check that later on this afternoon. And are you happy with who's on there? Sidney Crosby, didn't he win that whole thing for us back? Oh my gosh, how many years ago was that now? 16 years ago. The guy's still giving it and doing the best he can. Some youngins on there as well too. Lots of things to keep in mind for you as you're looking along. And again, that idea of looking forward and looking at your horoscope. If you're into such things, we've got a few more minutes for a few more horoscopes. Here's your daily horoscopes for today. Where did we get to? Here we go. Cancer. June 22nd to July 23rd. Put any plans you have for the next few days on hold. You can come back to them later on, but for now, the likely impact of tomorrow's full moon makes it unwise to force matters. You don't need to be pushy this early in the year. Now, I'm a Cancer, and I'm supposed to do some traveling over the next few days. I don't know if I can put it on hold, though. I already put it on hold last week. Sophia, what's on your mind today?
Mind is why this year very small radio play music. Christmas time. Christmas time is happiness. This beautiful Canadian song. This year, I don't know, like morning CBC Radio put American black people, this talking music, like for funeral, not for Christmas time. And the same this radio, not play this channel. I've been last year in Europe, because I'm from Europe, and been in Germany also. In Frankfurt. I go to market, we go, play music, Canadian carol, maybe from England carol. And the same English language. This year, I listen in Canada, don't have nothing. What is wrong? I hope so. This year, Christmas time, will be more carol song.
Well, I appreciate that call, Sophia, and I'll give you a little piece of advice. You won't hear much on 570 News, but just down the hall at 96.7 Chime, you'll hear holiday music. Lots of it. You can check it out. I hope that helps. 96.7, but keep coming back to here, all right? We want to hear what's going on. You want to know what's going on in the world. You can tune in here and flip-flop back and forth between the two, and then you'll get lots of holiday music. But I appreciate that phone call. That was important for us to hear what you had to say, and that was on your mind. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570. You can also reach us toll-free, 1-800-570-5715. And, I don't know. Is there a lot of New Year's music? Not so much. Do you have some big concerts coming up in 2026? I've signed myself up for a couple. I'm going to go check out the Foo Fighters for the second time at the Rogers Arena, the new Rogers venue. Also going to be going to check out Zach Bryan. Those are the two biggies right now. And was hoping to see the Trues, great Canadian band. They were supposed to be. That was right when I started feeling awful, around the 15th of December. They were in London, I think, on the 14th or 15th, and we were supposed to go down there. So we had to pass that. But I'm getting tired of passing things up. I want to have all of these adventures, right? Anyway, your last chance is coming up to give us a call. Make sure it happens. Stay with us, though. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh sitting in for Mike Farwell. He's got a busy night ahead of him as the Barrie Colts come to town over at the On. He will be back here on Monday. And I can't promise that there won't be a missing pen. This one is really nice. I'll do my best to clean things up, though. I don't like thinking that I've left it as a mess. It bothers me. That's okay, though. That's just, I'll internalize that. And, I don't want to do too much, but he's got quite a collection in here, like books and stickers and, certificates of appreciation. What? Man, oh man, a big stack of books. I don't know if he's got to get to reading those things. If you are in and around the radio station at the moment, we are in the midst of a whiteout conditions out there. I got to head home in about 15 minutes. I don't know what I'm going to do. Just follow the breadcrumbs back, right? Don't want to get if you follow the breadcrumbs, but it takes you to like a house that looks like it's made out of candy. Don't go in. That's where the witch lives. Mary, what's on your mind? What's happening?
Hey, Rob.
Hey.
I was just talking to somebody. Have you glanced out the window?
Oh, I just mentioned it. We are in the middle of a full-blown blizzard here.
Yes, and you know what? It wasn't called for.
No.
But I just want to tell you, I was speaking to a friend from New Hamburger.
Yes.
Where I was
born and raised. Yes.
And they got hardly anything.
Oh, and that's, friends of ours.
Have you heard that?
Well, friends of ours are in Brantford, and they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
How are you not getting the same snow we're getting?
No, KW, our area is the worst hit.
Yeah, it's just, it's a big circle.
So I said to the guy, he says, oh, no, it's lovely here, blah, blah, blah. Of course, the roads towards Stratford, they can be closed.
Oh, my
I worked
gosh.
up there for years.
Yeah. They're awful, that stretch.
Yeah. And so I said, so are you telling me that rather than going down to the States as a snowbird, I should just come to New Hamburg?
Sure, you can go to the Old Country Restaurant. You can go, walk the downtown. There's lots of positive out in New Hamburg. There you go.
Well, yeah, but I don't think I could sit under a palm tree with a pina colada.
No, you couldn't do that. No.
Okay, Brock, you make sure that place is clean.
I will. You're in my brain.
Be hard on you.
I know. You're in my head though, and now I'm looking around.
Yeah. Well, I'm only thinking of you, Dirk.
Well, I don't want to get in trouble with Farwell.
No, because I want you back.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Tell them no more encores. Mary says, Mary, number one, Farwell Force.
Yes, Farwell Force is number one. Mary says no more encore.
No.
Okay, all right. I'll pass that on. I don't know how much.
Not in my lifetime, and I'm 83, so you have a few years.
Yeah, you got lots of time. You're going to make it to at least 105, so 22
that's
at least.
What I told my hairdresser, and she's going to take me on a cruise.
Oh, well, that's a pretty sweet deal.
Darn tootin'.
All right. Well, you enjoy the rest of the snow and just look at it out the window.
I'm sitting by my lovely fireplace looking out. Have a good one, Brock.
You too. Take care, Mary.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, it's just like I'm looking out the window out of the view. It's a beautiful view, but right now it's we're in a snow globe. That's where we're seated right now. And so if you're out there driving, take it easy. And I'm gonna load up the vehicle and head out in the next little while. But it has been a blast. I've had a ton of fun doing this. Just filling in, and you never know. I mean, a couple of years ago, I think I filled in, and it was myself and Devin Robertson was on the other side of the glass. Nobody was calling in at all, and we're just, doing all the things we can do, but at least we've got some phone callers this time. This has been awesome. We've had a great chance to chat about a lot of great things today. It's really, really great to be able to see what's happening in other people's lives and help them out. Again, if you can get yourself up to just outside of Walkerton, I just plugged it in right now in Google Maps, and if I was to go now, it's going to take me almost 2 hours. I don't think I'll head out in the snow. Cody, you're going to have to wait a little while. All right, maybe next weekend. We'll see. I've got a family member who just absolutely loves pickled eggs, so we'll be up there. And I want to get some swag when I'm up there as well, too. All right. And if you haven't followed Cody yet on Facebook, do it. Cody's Egg Shack. All you got to do is hit follow. And that's what we want to see. All right. That way it's, you've done your good deed for the day. All right. Were you a cub or a scout or a guide or a brownie or any of those things back in the day? Remember, that's what we were taught to do. Do your good deed for the day. At least one, right? What's on your plan for 2026? What are you going to create this year? What are you going to let go of? What are you going to embrace, right? There's a lot of those things that we can sit and think on. I do plan on attempting, anyway, listen to me, I'm hedging my bets already, to journal a little bit every day. Write down just a couple of things that happened, a couple of positive things that happened throughout the day, right? Maybe 3 or 4 things that were positive about the day. Then you look back, because, we get so wrapped up in the negative, it's easy. And there's the old saying that, misery loves miserable company. Let's put it that way. But we want to be able to see the bright side of things. So get yourself some new books, some Canadian history, some Doonies. You can follow on that path as well too. Get some deviled eggs from Cody. Lots of things. Get out and watch the KW Titans. Get out and watch the Rangers. Come and watch some basketball at Laurier, or go to Guelph or UW or Conestoga College. Lots of places where you can go and see some great sporting events. Go check out some Junior B hockey, Junior C hockey. Go and support the locals. Right? These are all things that you can be doing. Even when it's in a snowstorm, just take it easy and shovel your sidewalk. Do the best that you can. Keep it cleared off, and we'll go from here. Let's have a chance to do this again. It'll probably be in the summertime, but I've had a blast. And as Mike would say, be kind to each other. You have been listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio.